And give me a few seconds after we go live. I need to update the online page and my email that's going out. And I implore you all to do the same. We are live. I'm gonna cut my camera back off. Please turn all phones on silent. Um, what else? It was some other housekeeper. Please stay to the end. I have a special message to the speakers and panelists. If you could stay to the end. Um, okay, love and adore each and every one of you. You need me, text me. And I will be sending you, check your Zoom sporadically because I might send you like a direct message, or if I have your number, I will text you. I don't have Facebook or YouTube on my phone, but I have it on YouTube on my iPad. So if you want to Facebook me, you can. So yeah.
Will the questions appear on the YouTube chat or right here in the Zoom chat from participants?
YouTube.
Okay, so again, you're managing that. Gotcha. Okay.
They look, they not they see you not there. See. Let me put my phone on silent. No. Wait a minute, I didn't turn my thing on. Do not disturb. What are we doing? I see you, Aisha. Give me 1 second. Let me finish up this email because it's supposed to be going out in a second. I'm putting the YouTube link in the chat. And let's get started around 9. Like once it turns 9:30 on Sparkle, give it like maybe 30 seconds and just go right in.
I'm sorry, say that part again, 9:30, 30
Oh,
seconds after?
yeah, just about 30,
Okay,
45 seconds, go straight into it. Yeah.
okay, will do.
Thank you. And where's my thing at?
30
Oh,
seconds after?
yeah, just about 30.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to the 2026 AIBC Executive Summit. This is the inaugural summit designed for small business owners committed to capability, clarity, and responsible innovation. Today's program includes a speaker series, a featured speaker, a keynote speaker, and the Executive Power Panel. Each contributor brings a distinct lens on strategy, capability, and transformation. Before the program begins, recognition is extended to the visionary behind the event. Jonah Hall is the founder of the AIBC Incubator and the AI Business Chamber, and she leads Hall Strategic Partners and Jonah Nanette Branding. Her leadership and commitment to responsible innovation made today's inaugural summit possible. Appreciation is extended to Jonah for the invitation to serve as moderator for today's event. A quick word about me. I'm Sparkle Sullivan, and I could not be more excited to serve as your moderator today. I am the founder of the Sparkle Impact, where I focus on executive presence, workplace capability, and professional delivery. I hold certification in AI skills fundamentals and training in AI supported workflow optimization, equipping professionals to communicate with clarity and operate with efficiency. I also serve as an associate certified coach through the International Coaching Federation and a senior program mentor for Western Governors University. AIBC is a professional networking organization providing AI ethics, frameworks, and certifications for B2B and B2C businesses. All attendees may join at 50% off. All speakers, hosts, and panelists may join at no cost with 1 week to claim membership. The link will be included in the thank you email. Attendees are encouraged to engage, ask questions, participate in the giveaways, and support the entrepreneurs presenting today. This is exactly the kind of room to be in, one full of people ready to go. So let's get started. All right, so the summit begins with the speaker who understands the business behind creativity. Zach Hall is a music producer and entrepreneur whose work spans audio engineering, music production, songwriting, and coding. His focus is supporting original productions and helping independent artists build sustainable business models. Zach, welcome to the AIBC Executive Summit. Take it away.
Thank you for having me. Jonah, you want to pull up those slides? Sweet. Thank you guys. So, first and foremost, thank you for welcoming me in this moment. I'm super excited, and I'm just going to be talking about exactly how to transform your passion into a business model that you can scale. And at the end of this, you're going to understand the fundamentals of KPIs, which are key performance indicators, and how to apply this for yourself. But first and foremost, I want to just shine a little light on me and my journey, because everything I'm going to be sharing with you is through experience. We can go through the agenda. Jonah, can you go to the next slide? So you'll see how to turn your passion into KPIs, how to build your landing page, which is your flagship landing page. It's going to be able to sell your pitch while you sleep, how to measure your success. And then we're going to take a step back because there's going to be a lot of information, but I just want you to understand, where do you stand? Just going to be very self-reflective. And then a closing remark, which is going to be a recap, and then a Q&A. You can go to the next slide. So first and foremost, who am I? I'm an artist, I'm a producer, I am a developer, and I'm an entrepreneur. And I say an entrepreneur because I'm very keen to this making something from nothing. That's been how I've been my whole life. And I have a bachelor's and a master's from Old Dominion University. I initially went in studying business admin. First and foremost, I was gonna study engineering, but I wanted to pivot once I got introduced to music. And that led me the foundation after studying analytics and marketing to get my master's in lifespan and digital communications, where I just looked at how we all communicate from birth until death, and how does technology play a factor into that. Some of the key moments in my life: I worked on a record label company, doing advertising analytics for some well-known artists like Trader Truth, for example. And then also I signed a publishing deal before as an actual artist, which is really cool because the company was in France. And then I also was pitching a lot of songs to some production companies, big picture companies, to say the fact. For example, I got a song that landed on a medical series on Fox called Doc, which is super cool. And I also perform music, and I like developing other artists. My first show was in Jamaica, Queens, which is really cool. And I also build a software for independent artists to help them scale, really. But before I really dive into the weeds, I just want to remind you guys that you can do anything in life. God instills us a passion, and that passion is to serve others. And think about turning your passion to a business, just like learning a new skill or a new sport. You have to understand the fundamentals first. So let's go to the next slide to talk about all that. So first and foremost, turning your passion into something that is a business means you're able to measure it. That's a smart goal. But first and foremost, how do you define your passion? A real question you can ask yourself is, what do you enjoy doing that serves others? A business, no matter what, is a service, and that can be in the form of you giving your time in terms of an active service or product that serves others, while you don't have to always do that. So ask yourself, what do you do? What do you love doing? That is going to be irreplaceable no matter what. And then once you establish that, then you can start talking about the back end and how do you wire that. That's going to be your sales funnel. Nowadays, any and everybody can make their own sales funnel with a landing page or a website, but you have to wire it correctly. That's going to enable that to run by itself while you are not always selling to everybody. And that starts with capturing those emails so you can own your own channels. That starts with your newsletter, because social media is not your own channel. It's something that you're renting. If that goes away, what do you really have? So think about that too. And then when you start to understand those things, then you're going to start looking at those KPIs, which are going to be your key performance indicators. And some couple things to think about that is like signups, like how many times does somebody have to visit to sign up? Because that's going to be the people that are interested in what you're actually selling. What are your open rates when you're sending those emails out? Are the people that do sign up actually engaged? Are they actually opening? Because that's going to lead to those conversions, and those going to be those sales, the stuff that you put a dollar value to it. A good question you can ask yourself is are the things that are important, what are those things? And are they going to move the needle? What are those things that are going to move your business forward, first and foremost? And then once you establish those things, you can also ask yourself, when I just take a rest, can my business run by itself? If not, that's something that should be a red flag, and you need to start thinking about, how can I make my business stand up so it can run by itself? And then once you establish those things, then you're ready for advertisable growth, which is really in a means of having that piece of content that is your pitch, and it's always landing to your sales funnel, so you can track your actions by other people, and being able to just crack down on those numbers and just be more effective. So the cost per new customer is going to be cheaper over time. But before we even talk about those things, I just want to give you a little golden nugget. When you are doing digital advertisements, do not forget to put your pixel on your website. Your pixel is how you track people in terms of their actions, and that allows for you to optimize your content and understand exactly what's working for this target audience, what's not working for this target audience. How can I get my cost per conversion cheaper so I can get more of my margins and a higher margin for my target audience? You can go to the next slide. Now, to give you some case examples before I show mine, I just want you to understand that your landing page is your asset. That's the thing that's going to scale. That is that one page that is selling that one thing, capturing that attention, and turning it into an opportunity for somebody to buy in. Your passion is something that you're an expert in. So that's an easy blueprint for creating a course that somebody can buy into online, or that somebody can buy into in person. Think about Coursera. Coursera has a bunch of courses that we can go into. That could be something that you can build to as well as your digital asset. Some other examples could be membership. Say that you're doing retail and you have something that drops every single month. That could be something that somebody subscribes to. I see it all the time in the music industry where people put in some exclusive content and they put it behind a paywall. That could be your Patreon too as well, or just being able to gatekeep a community that you establish. You need to have that house so when you are marketing to people, you can point them to that one thing that they can buy into. And then the one that a lot of people know are those book me services, those consultations. When somebody goes into your website and they see that calendar so they can book for your next slot, or maybe that can be like a barber or a salon or just getting ready for a camp. Yeah, so we can go to the next slide. Next slide. Yeah. So this is an example of my landing page and exactly how yours can look too. For me, I provide a software as a service for independent artists. It's a platform and a network as well. But you can see that the call to action is clear. Each dollar spent is something that I can track. You should be able to track every single penny that you're spending for your business. And that's where your landing page is going to play a factor for. And this allows for you to also capture any emails and see exactly how people are moving within it. Is anything broken or not? And also, if somebody's bouncing too quick, maybe you're not reaching the right person. But this is an example of how you can set up your landing page so it pitches your business as you sleep. We can go to the next slide. Now, once your page is live, this is exactly what you should look out for. These are some key terms that pretty much everybody should know. Acquisition, engagement, conversion, and retention. I'll go one by one for them. Acquisition in big business talk is really how much does it cost for a new customer? In terms of maybe an artist, how much does it cost for somebody to share and boost the discoverability? The whole goal is to get word of mouth because word of mouth is the cheapest. It doesn't cost anything, but it costs for people to know you. So first and foremost is figure out how much does it cost for somebody to buy into what you're doing. Engagement is once you get people on your page, how long do they actually stay? Does somebody bounce when they first go on your page? Maybe that person isn't the right person, or maybe your content isn't reaching the right people, or maybe that your website isn't loading fast. This is information that is extremely valuable, and this tells you exactly some next steps that you can do. A good important questions are those visitors staying, opening, or clicking, or are they just bouncing or not? Something that you should be aware too is there are ghost clicks. Ghost clicks are where you have these bots that just go into your website and disappear. So it's good to have those pixels so you exactly know what actions are happening, right? Conversions is really the bottom of the sales funnel, right? This is really just like acquisitions, but it's more so how many times does somebody have to come to your website before they actually buy in? It's rare that it's always going to be a 1-for-1. If you're talking to that one person and they buy in, I'm pretty sure that they saw you 5 or 10 times. And it might be because people are talking about you, or maybe it's because your advertisement is doing really well. But this is turning those attentions into buying opportunities and people that are actually buying in. But once they actually get in, are they staying? Monthly churn rate is something that you can look into. Are they continuously paying for that membership? Are they rebuying your services? For example, I go to my barber again and again and again for years. I have a strong lifetime value. So this is something that you can actually track in terms of, all right, this person comes in, I can expect them to be around for 10 months or 2 years, right? What's the value for that? And that allows for you to have more strategic conversations about how should I market it on these different channels to these different type of audiences. Now, a question that you can ask for yourself, out of these 4 things that I just shared with you, what can you not see right now? And if you could see it, what could change, right? Ask yourself that for sure. You can go to the next slide. Yeah, so let's take a step back and just see where you are. Are you on the building stage? Are you on the measuring stage? Are you on the action stage or scaling stage? The building stage is really the blueprint, right? This is where you're building that house, you're building that landing page for people to go to. You're understanding your passion, exactly what service are you providing others. Once that's clear and you have a proper customer journey, I would say, then you're ready for the measuring stage where you're actually wiring that back and you're building that actual page and it's there. So you're ready for people to get those emails. You're ready to build out that newsletter, right? You're ready to optimize those clicks for conversions for people to buy into what you're selling. And then the action stage is once you get a lot more data coming in. I always tell people fail fast. Don't be afraid to fail fast, meaning get all that information so you can understand what you need to crack down on. I have changed my business model since I started in 2022 so many different times. And that's because I had the information that told me this is what works and this is what not works so I can properly communicate. Because sometimes how you think your business is positioned might not be how it's perceived. And your brand is when that's one of one. Everything is aligned. Once everything is aligned, you are ready to scale. And that means you are ready to just put more money in between, money behind the content that you're pushing out because you know what content actually works, speaks to your audience, and activates more people to actually buy in for those conversions that actually moves the needle like we talked before. You can go to the next slide. Now, I would definitely say a recap. I know this was a lot of information, but as the screen says, in order for you to transform your passion into a scalable business, learn the game, study the game, find somebody that's doing exactly what you want to do, and then figure out how to make it you. Present it that into a page. So build your page and then measure what actually matters. Everything doesn't really matter all the time in reality. Maybe it's those two things, or maybe those one things that actually matter. And then once you see the stuff that moves that, then act on that. And once you act on that, then you'll be ready to scale. And it's that simple. So go back to the basics so you can build your page correctly, and then you can build everything from there. You can go to the next slide. Yeah, so thank you guys. If you want to stay connected, for sure, you can follow me on Instagram. You can connect on LinkedIn. You can also check out my website too as well, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. But seriously, thank you guys for everything, and I hope you found value in this for you to transform your passion into a business model that you can scale and build out some new pipelines of money for sure.
Wow, fantastic. Wow, thank you, Zach. Landing pages, analytics, and scaling, that's the backbone every business owner need and often overlooks. The graphic provided to assess where you stand, I think, is so valuable. You just handed this room a practical playbook for turning traffic into real growth. Thank you again for those golden nuggets that you shared.
Thank you.
The next speaker is the architect behind several of the Chamber's most influential initiatives, including the AI Business Chamber's strategic development, the Ideal Business Bootcamp, and the AI Business Incubator. She also leads Hall Strategic Partners, providing crisis management and strategic guidance to organizations navigating complex challenges. Miss Jonah, welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I am so sorry. I am, like she said, I'm wearing a lot of hats this morning, so I'm a little bit of everywhere. But I do want to talk to you guys. First of all, thank you for being here. If you do not mind, please share this link, tell people to come on, and also comment. Please, please, please stay tuned to the very end because we're doing drawings where you can win prizes. And here's the thing, you have to be present to win. We will not notify you later. And a lot of the speakers want some of the other speakers' stuff. So we just take everything home. We're good. We're great. We still win. But it's just a swap. But if you want to be in on the drawings, and also special presentations, please stay to the very end. It will start around like 12 o'clock. So thank you guys so very much. I want to hop right into it if I can find it. Okay. I hope everyone can see this. Somebody tell me, like, put a thumbs up if they can see this. Can you see my screen? Okay. Okay, I'm looking at it on the YouTube. Okay, welcome to the AI Business Chamber Executive Summit 2026. Aibc, which is the AI Business Chamber, we involve creating systems that perform tasks requiring human. You know what? You can read this. You can screenshot it. Basically, we are an organization that focuses on tech, AI ethics, and we are trying to create frameworks and ceilings as well for the use of certain AI and automations in different technologies. And I do want to say I hope you guys listen to Zach because everything he said in that presentation, I've seen him do. So literally, if you see somebody and they're saying something that you can relate to and they put their contact information up, please screenshot it and get with them because anybody on this speaker panel or Q&A panel, I put them there because they are professionals. I know they are to be professional. I can have talk this morning. I know that they are professionals and that they know exactly what they're talking about. Please excuse me, I have not had anything to eat. The AIBC is a networking group for small and business-sized business owners focused on expanding member opportunities without geographical limits. This year, it will sponsor two events for members on a first-come, first-served basis, this Executive Summit and the Idea Business Bootcamp. The AI Business Chamber is also establishing itself as a founding certification organization for AI ethics with a program launching at the Idea Business Bootcamp. Participants will automatically join the AI Business Incubator to work with experts on their business needs, followed by a business audit after successful graduation from the Ideal Business Bootcamp. The Ideal Business Bootcamp is geared toward the MBA syllabus, and once you complete the AI BC Ideal Business Bootcamp, you'll be able to stand in any boardroom and talk their talk and understand what they're saying as well. Our mission is to foster innovation via integration, marketing, and community growth. Our goal is to empower scaling while preserving the essence of businesses. We have push work sessions, free collaborative work sessions for members only. Sometimes we open it up to the public, like we did this week, and certifications, programs that develop essential skills for career and organizational growth. We are also developing AI ethical or AI ethics certifications, which small business B2B and B2C will be able to put on their website so that people know that they have taken a certification course in AI ethics so that people know that their website and their social media platforms and interacting with them is safe, and that it will also be show people how to be transparent about how they use AI and also how to mitigate risk when using AI. So that certification is very, very important. Like I said, the Idea Business Bootcamp is where it all begins. Please, if you are on this call and you are not where you are in your business, please contact us. Please, I'm begging you. It's hard. You can screenshot the words. This is hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. My own brother, when he took it, did not talk to me for a couple of hours one night. He just went to bed. But everybody who went through it can honestly say they learned so much about their business. It was one young lady, we were going through her audit. She literally was losing money every time she made a sale because she didn't understand how her Shopify was set up. And so she was selling products underneath the cost that it took to develop them and mail them and ship them out, and she was literally losing money. So she would have a good sale over here, but then everything that she sold over here was costing her money. And so we literally look through your systems. We break things up. It's like you're running your own corporation. The cost for admission for AIBC members is $300. You will get that back. The cost for non-members is $500. Yes, membership has its benefits. Well, why is it if the membership cost for the AIBC is only $99, then why is the without if you don't have the membership, why is the Ideal Business Bootcamp 500? That kind of math. I'm doing girl math. Girl math is if you are a member, because see the cost is way more than 500 anyway, but the cost is 500. But members get a special prorated a cost of $300. And today, if you want to join and you are a member, I'm knocking $100 off of that. If you're a non-member, I'm knocking $200 off of it. So 200 for members and 300 for non-members. You have to let me know within the next 48 hours. You are not automatically selected. So if you're thinking about becoming a part of it or joining and signing up, let me know, because we have to audit you, because I don't want to take your money and you're not ready. It's very intensive. It lasts a long time. It lasts, I want to say, between October and February. We will graduate in March in Delaware. We'll talk about that in a second. But yes, it's very intensive. It's very exhaustive at times, but you will know everything of how to run a business if you take it. Once you complete and graduate from the Idea Business Bootcamp, you can select to become a part of our AI Business Incubator. This is a free service. Well, being a part of the AI Business Incubator is a free service. You can pay for services within the AI Business Incubator that will be prorated, but prorated on market price. But I don't want, we used to, if anybody was here at the beginning of the year, we used to offer services to all of our members. But then, in the words of, I want to say, step on Kira's toes, but in the words of Kira, she said something so profound during one of our sessions. Sometimes people don't know what they don't know. And so we literally, from that one phrase, we kind of redesigned our whole program. And we were like, it's more important for people to understand and learn how their business actually works, and then try to pursue getting them into development programs. But they need to know what their business is, and even if it's functional and viable. So once you complete the AI Business Chambers Idea Business Bootcamp, then you can join the AI Business Chambers AI Business Incubator. Like I said, we offer a lot of services through this AI incubator, but I don't want to kind of hone in on those, because right now I just want you to focus on the Idea Business Bootcamp, because that's how you enter the Idea AI Business Incubator. This is our team. I am the BI coordinator. I am the AI SME, and I love it here. It's a growing team. We're looking for board members as well. If you are a member of AIBC and you want to be a board member, I'm opening it up to you as well. Jonathan Hall is the technical SME and the support manager. Sarah Valerio is the marketing SME, and Nadia Wellington is the integration facilitator. These are the different roles and opportunities that we have. Like I said, membership for anyone who is a part of this summit is absolutely free for 48 hours. Speakers and panelists, you have up to 10 days. You can donate. Everybody has a QR code. We will drop QR codes, or I should say links to our Cash App and Venmos in the chat. Please support. If you see a business that comes on here and they're saying something that you like and you want to support them, Cash App them, Venmo them, support them. All the money that the AIBC raised today and have raised for this summit will go back out into the community. Become a part of SME and the SME team. If you feel like you can contribute to the AIBC, and you're saying, I feel like my skills as blah, blah, blah will help the AIBC, let us know. Shoot us an email, and we will gladly add you to the SME team. These are the benefits of membership. You will get free push sessions, free discounted workshops, free help desk services. I literally told John, I said, you need to charge for your services. And he was like, no, I'm good. That's free. You will have automatic entry into our Ideal Business Bootcamp starting in October with payment. You got to pay. All members are automatically enrolled. And we give free money all the time. And we also are going to start doing free monthly marketing and business emails. Okay, today is AIBC is holding its first executive summit, which you are all a part of. And this event introduces our members to the world. You have the unique chance to engage with industry leaders, network with peers, and gain insights into the latest trends shaping the future. The summit features a series of keynote speeches, panel discussions, and interactive workshops designed to foster collaboration and innovation. Like I said, thank you guys for being here. This executive summit was built out as a community fundraiser for our members because we want to raise money for their small businesses. So please donate. We will send you the information on how to donate at the end of this meeting. But please, please, please donate so that we can help small businesses, because sometimes people just don't have it and they need to apply for licenses or apply for the LLC. And we are here to help fill that gap. For like sometimes we just give it away, sometimes we do a grant, sometimes we do a loan. So in any way that we can help small businesses, that's what we're here for, and that's what we're geared to do. And also, every speaker who was a part of the AIBC that is on the flyer, they paid to be there. They contributed. Ooh, yes, Shona, they contributed their own funds to be able to fund this summit. And we invited other people to, fill out the roster. But every member, I want to say Kira, Jamal, myself, and I don't want to miss out on anybody. I think we are the members of the AIBC, and we literally paid a lot of money. We raised a lot of money. We did a lot of begging to be able to pull this off. So I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Now, this is something I'm very excited about, the AIBC inaugural conference on March 18th through the 20th, 2027 in Wilmington, Delaware. We will have our first inaugural Idea Business Conference. It's going to be huge. Sign up to get notifications about our upcoming events. Let us know if you're interested in coming out. I am so excited about this. This event is a key opportunity for networking and inspiration for entrepreneurs and professionals, featuring keynote speeches, interactive workshops, and panel discussions on business trends. We will have the expo area. We will have visionaries committed to success and positive impact, aiming to create a brighter future in business. We also are looking for vendors, patrons, speakers, and sponsor opportunities. We're looking for vendors, patrons, speakers, and sponsors, and many more opportunities. So please don't say, I didn't know it's all the way in Delaware, or I don't have any money. You know right now. So if you don't make it, it's because you didn't want to come. There will be no excuses. But all of our Idea Business Bootcamp participants this year and the one we had in 2024 will be graduating. The 2024 is not mandatory toward that. It's not mandatory. I cannot talk for real that they come, but we will be celebrating all of our graduates from the 2024 class, because we didn't get a chance to march. We just did like an online thing, and also the class of 2026, which will be 2027. The AIBC website is now live. It is aibusinesschamberus.com. This is the fee structure for the membership is $99 annually. And like I said, today, if you are on here, you have until Monday to let me know if you want to join for free. This is our community calendar. Just take a screenshot. And we also do referral bonuses for our members. So hit me up about that. But you have to be a paid member. You can't get a referral bonus if you didn't pay. So if you came in for free, you don't get the bonus. But if you did pay, you will get the bonus. And this is our email. Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to toss it back to Sparkle.
Thank you, Jonah. The strategic clarity you just provided is valuable for every attendee in this room. What you've built here isn't just an organization, it's an ecosystem where ethics, innovation, and opportunity are designed to grow together. And that is the mark of a true visionary. And we are honored to stand inside what you've created. And I know that the Ideal Business Conference in Wilmington, Delaware is going to be exceptional. The next speaker is an educator and youth motivator dedicated to empowering parents, schools, and communities. Derek Lovett is implementing his life planning framework, Refresh, Refocus, Rebuild, in middle and high schools to help young people build essential skills. Derek, welcome.
Thank you, Sparkle. Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, esteemed speakers and panelists, and thank you, audience, for being here. Okay, my name is Derek Lovett. I'm a STEAM educator, youth advocate, and educational strategist. If you're wondering what an educational strategist is, it's an individual who's constantly working to develop programs that make an impact for the youth. And particularly, I focus on the areas of motivation and engagement, creating programs and curricula to impact them in a way that is ideal and effective. My website is derekjlovett.com, so pretty easy enough in case you want to go ahead and visit that. So I'll remind you again later. But my organization I run is a nonprofit called Put Student Motivation First. It's a 501c3. And as of right now, we have 3 programs in particular we run. It's a math enrichment program we call Math Academy. We do ACT study prep, and we do life skills for families. What's unique about us is we're constantly seeking partnerships with community organizations, schools, churches, in order to best serve families. And for instance, this is a picture of a Math Academy summer camp we did 2 summers ago, 2024. We did it again in 2025, and we partnered with the church here in Montgomery when we did this. Now, I want to give you just a little bit of backdrop or the scope of my approach right now as an educator, activist, and strategist, advocate and strategist. My platform is education. My target audience is parents, but my end user is students, and I motivate and equip students to take ownership of their learning and decisions through relevant presentations and resources. Now, the reason I'm giving you this backdrop is because it was not that easy for me to get to exactly who my target audience is. I am going to clarify that in a second here. But I want you to consider this. What I have learned personally is that identifying the right audience brings perspective to everything you do, so that instead of being pulled in 1,000 directions, you will adapt what you have already to that audience. And then you'll cut anything out that doesn't fit. I really want you to internalize that, because what I've realized in my journey, because I had a bunch of different ideas, a bunch of skills, but I realized the most important part was finding that audience. And what's interesting is I probably done tens, not quite 100, but tens of watching those webinars and courses where people hone in on target audience, but I didn't get it until I got it. So please, that's very important. Take away that target audience. Now, here's what's interesting though. The data told me that it was parents all along. I mean, Little League, I've been working with the youth for over 20 years. Little League coach, love dealing with parents, educator, teacher in the classroom, STEAM, math and science, deal with parents. My programs. So why is it that I had such a hard time settling in on it being parents? So I'm going to explain that through a kind of a brief story here, timeline. About 13 years ago, I started my entrepreneurial journey. I was a civil engineer for the Department of Transportation. Shout out to Zach. I think we did the exact opposite. I was a mass broadcast communications major, ended up doing engineering. But anyway, so I was an engineer in the Department of Transportation, and I left, took out my retirement, and invested in a business venture I had been working on at the time. It was a mobile app company. So this is around 2015, left my job, started going to these business pitch competitions, contracted out to work because I had just a little bit of programming, course in college, but I wasn't proficient. So I had ended up having to contract out that work. And so I would do these competitions and things and learned a whole lot, but really didn't get funded. So I ended up running out of time and money. Interestingly enough, just a little sometime later, I well, at this point I was still trying to get that business off the ground, but I had kind of turned to trying to get I offered some database management services, and so I was trying to get that off the ground, just going door to door. And one day in particular, I wasn't getting any traction. And I was very discouraged because I had been spending so much time and money on trying to get this off the ground. So I remember going to this grocery store parking lot, kind of laying back in my seat. And I believe the Lord spoke to me right there and said, "How are you using your time?" And in that moment, I started thinking about the day before and the day before that and the day before that. And the funny thing was I could not recall one thing in particular I had done related to my business, which was ironic though, because I felt like I was putting so much time and energy into my business, and I had consciously neglected family and friends. I had consciously said, I'm not spending time with them because I'm working on a business. Well, why couldn't I even think about one thing that I had done? And that epiphany was that I was wasting time. So God began to give me this framework. And I mean, he gave it to me like a picture, and I began to write it down and I began to apply it to my life. Because at this point, I had been, I was living off retirement, only making a little bit money, odd end jobs here and there, and really was in a place where and I was married by this time, so got behind on bills and lots of things going on. And so the Lord gave me this framework, and gradually using this framework in practice day after day, I began to make my way out of this hole I had dug myself in. And so about eight years ago, which is 2 years after that, about 8 years ago, I began teaching on this framework. I began conducting workshops on this framework and really perfecting it, if you will. And then last year, interestingly enough, I had resigned from an education job and accepted a job in engineering, and that just it literally just fell through. I mean, it fell through. We had signed paper, everything fell through, and so didn't really have anything at the time. And that's when I really felt like it was time for me to take what I had been doing and turn it into a coaching business and start coaching others one-on-one in small groups. So what ended up happening though was that year I had started getting some traction, gaining some, having some success, but I realized something. I realized I really didn't like what I was doing. So I was working with everybody from entrepreneur, I mean people with multiple business to just working professionals to retirees. And that was all great, but I was exhausted every day when I had, I might have, one, two, three people. I was exhausted. And so probably 3 quarters into the year, maybe a little bit after the halfway point, I said, I don't want to do this. I'm not passionate about this. I want to help people, but I don't want to do this. So ended up at the end of the last year, I was talking with my pastor, and we just decided I need to take a step back. Took a step back, and a few months later, so going into this year, I was when I took a step back, I started working back in education, doing some tutoring, some other things. I realized I realized where I needed to be. I realized education was how I needed to hone everything in. And really what I began to see was where the lowest barrier of entry met, with my most willingness to serve. And it wasn't any of the clients that I had been helping, although I was glad to be able to help, but really it was parents. And this is when I realized that. And so I looked at it and it was very clear The data showed me parents need programs. I was already doing that. Do I meet the need? Yes, this is what I do. And was I willing to meet it consistently? Yes, because the youth are my passion. I love outreach. I love talking to parents. And all along this had eluded me. So why the struggle? Well, I think it's pretty simple. Especially being a breadwinner for my family, being a head, I needed to make money, so that was a driving factor. So naturally, wherever that channel is flowing, I'm trying to do that. So trying to build something, but got to go where the money is, and so that's why I do recommend. A lot of times we feel like we need to leave our jobs, but that job can be that structure that you need to drive your business, the income to drive your business. But the present, I found the right audience. And what I'm noticing is finding the right audience is really the key to commitment, and then once you're committed, it's all about position. So as Zach was talking about earlier, as Jonah spoke about, that's why I am with education and my outreach to parents, because I've been doing it, but now I'm focusing everything on positioning because I'm already passionate. I am, I'm committed, and now I can go full throttle and do what I need to do in that space. That being said, I did want to say just a tidbit about artificial intelligence. Here's what I think about when I think about this in terms of us starting businesses. Artificial intelligence, limitless possibilities right now. But I remember about 7, 8, well, really 5, 6 years ago, and some of the other business owners can attest to this. I know I spent a lot of time subscribing to courses and listening to webinars and things, trying to learn all the different pieces to build a bit to run my business. And it was exhausting because the same thing was coming from all these different areas. That's why I love Jonah's vision and really utilizing a lot of people that have done things in different spaces and kind of bringing all that together and synthesizing the information. But I was constantly bombarded, and I realized I had to start just shutting down emails I was getting and ignoring stuff on social media and just sticking to something. Well, I see the same issue, same problem with artificial intelligence for the business owner, the person trying to build a business, if we're not careful. Because whereas before it was all this knowledge, all this, with artificial intelligence, it's like you can do whatever you want, almost a click of a button, a prompt. But with that, we can't be pulled, in every direction, because just because I can build that tower, just because I can do that doesn't mean I need to. And if we do that, then we lose, the integrity of our brand and our messaging. So it's really important, just as it was 8, 9 years ago, to stay focused on one thing and allow, things to support that. That being said, this is how I'm using AI right now. That's Ashley. She, if you take the 30-day course, she'll be your guide. I won't play it right now, but I want to develop curriculum for students. I'm already doing. I use that for my ACT, which my wife and I used to go into schools. We used to take old ACT tests, do everything from that. But now, we use ACT, Chat GPT, things like that to generate it, and then we can just go review, make sure it's tweaked, that kind of thing. Use avatars like Ashley, this is my wife's name, and I want to automate my marketing and fundraising. So I'll be talking to people like Zach in particular about doing that because now that I'm hyper focused, I'm going to get more serious with my marketing to parents. That being said, I do want just a few more minutes of your time. So if you would, please scan this QR code. And as I talk, you'll be able to answer some questions over here. This is a quick little survey I want you to take, because this is going to give you some insight into the framework I'm about to talk about, which is the framework I mentioned earlier that God gave me when I was sitting in that car that faded day. So we must stay in the process, right? So in order for me to have gotten this clarity, I still had to stay in the process, right? And so we're all in the process. My daughter asked me the other day, how do we know when if we hear God's voice? I said, sweetie, you'll hear him, and by faith you'll know. I said, and eventually, if you keep walking with him, he'll give you a mission, and it'll be completely clear, right? But in order to do that, we have to stay in the process. So my framework, and it's trademark, is called Refresh, Refocus, Rebuild. Specifically, refresh the vision, refocus your goals, and rebuild a plan. Notice I said the vision because I believe vision is from God. We can have a vision for something, but in general, that vision is pretty consistent with what God, the direction, he's taking us, what our life is meant to do. Then you've got refocus your goals because they're yours. You take ownership of those, but then rebuild a plan. What's interesting is our lives are constantly changing, not just monthly, not just yearly, but daily. You can write a plan for the day and it doesn't go like that because the day is going to change. But that's why we need to be in a habit of writing plans constantly. And one of the things that we teach through our framework is how to have that 30,000-foot view from the monthly perspective, then the weekly perspective, the 10,000-foot view, then the daily perspective, the 3,000-foot view. Okay, and I'm coming in for a landing here. But briefly looking at this, which person are you right now? I'm gonna just say this: where we want to be is individual B. Individual A has priorities in order, focused on family, but they don't focus enough on their goals, and goals are what propel us forward, right? Individual C is so goal oriented they neglect everything else. I was that individual at one point in time. I would think that most of us are between A and B, and what we try to do is get individuals operating at a high level in B. So now, if you did that survey briefly, that survey was basically measuring how proactive or reactive you were, and that's something that we developed that survey based on our framework. And so these would be the results that you saw. And so we will go over these things and help you start with some of our modules, our different tools based on that. And we have other assessments similar to this, but that measure different things. But this one, we say this is the wellness regulation assessment, if you will, because some things we can just do for ourselves to be happier and healthier. Finally, the giveaway today, if you enter into the drawing, if you're here, giving away 30-day work-life balance reset challenge. The avatar actually guides you on that challenge. But the cool thing is it's actually based off of a 30-day group coaching I did back in 2023. And so I was able to go back and use that and, to just make it more vibrant. So that's what you'll be getting. And finally, I am sorry. I know I'm going my time about a minute or two, but I wanted to share this with you because I think this can actually help some folks that are interested in, business with products and things. Well, right now we've launched our Refresh Student Planner. We've got an adult planner as well, but this is for students. Notice the details: 196 pages, plastic core bound, very high quality. But it costs me, when I don't order but a few, say 25, it costs me about $19 to make. 12 to ship, sale price of $24, shipping charge of $5. So if you do the math right there, I'm losing a couple dollars, that kind of thing. So what I try to do or have to do is buy that stuff in bulk. And so that brings me to my last slide where you can help me today if you're interested, because I want to really offer some value for you. Of course, please visit DerekJLovett.com. That has links to the Refresh, Refocus, Reveal page, as well as Put Student Motivation First, my nonprofit. But today, if you would like to give or donate to my business and to this event for $50, you also can get access to that 30-day reset course, $100 value, and then for $100 or more, you can get access to that course and a 30-minute refresh coaching session, which I don't even do anymore, right? So that'll be $150 value, and that is my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. That's what effective curriculum design looks like. Student motivation at the center, families as the real audience, and the community brought in as a genuine partner. When you know exactly who you're serving, the whole approach changes. And You just showed this room that data, not guesswork, is what turns good intentions into real results. Much appreciation for the survey. I venture that refresh, refocus, rebuild is a framework that many of us will be using for sure. And I love the mention of AI as a friend or foe. The professional has the opportunity to employ AI as a friend or foe by taking control of the editorial layer. Very great job. Thank you so much for the gold nuggets. All right. Well, the next speaker is a visionary academic leader, licensed social worker, and organizational psychologist with more than 20 years of experience. Dr. April Jones has led innovations in digital education, telebehavioral health, AI-enhanced learning, and trauma-informed digital mental health. She has secured more than $600,000 in grants and built international partnerships. Dr. Jones, welcome.
I think Dr. Jones is having technical difficulties, so we're going to try to get her on later. If not, she sends
Okay.
her apologies.
Not a problem. Definitely understand technical difficulties. So we'll move forward with the next speaker. All right. So the next speaker is a legal and public administration expert with a Juris Doctor from the University of Alabama. Christopher Jordan serves as a magistrate in Montgomery and leads Jordan and Associates Consulting Group, offering accessible notarization and consulting services. Christopher, welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can everyone hear me? Can I get a thumbs up? I want to just make sure. Okay, wonderful. I see the thumbs up. Thank you all. Give me 1 second. Okay, very good. All right, so let me put myself on a timer because I want to be respectful of everyone's time. All right, so this presentation is entitled Take the Lead, with LEAD being an acronym that talks about 4 principles of sustainable business growth, how to build your business sustainably over time. Please excuse me, I do have some notes to my left, so you will see me looking over on occasion, but I am present, I promise. So because I am a Southern gentleman, I do believe in a welcome. I am presently in the Montgomery, Alabama area. I am a 2-time graduate of the University of Alabama, where I received my Bachelor in Business, as well as a Master's in Consumer Conflict Management, Mediation, and Negotiation. Uh, Brief correction, I did actually go to Southern University Law Center for my Juris Doctor, but Alabama has a very prestigious law school, so I am grateful to be associated with that program. I did found Jordan and Associates Consulting Group, LLC, back in 2020 during COVID. So that was a very interesting time. And had I had the knowledge now that I had then, we would be in a different picture, but all things happen how they're supposed to. So needless to say, COVID was going on. We did not take action at that time, but we were in school. I have been privileged to have some experience in the legal profession, as well as working in higher education. I have an entrepreneurial spirit and background, and I can talk to anyone. I do not meet a stranger. I get that from my mother. So consulting naturally is one of the skill sets that I bring to the table. So I am a hands-on type of person. As we go on through this presentation, you will see 3 QR codes. So feel free to scan as the presentation progresses. I do want you all to be able to just identify readily as we engage with one another, right? So this first question, what is the biggest challenge your businesses face today, right? So we're going to just take a moment to let you participate in that. And then as answers come in, we'll just kind of read them out so we can engage. So I'll give you all about 20 seconds or so. Okay. Someone voted for consistency. I mean, that is a big key, especially for us as leaders in business, right? Showing up and being consistent. Um, I see standing out in the crowd. A lot of people do a lot of the same thing. So just understanding what makes you consistent. I see balance. Balance is another thing that is very important because we're not robots, right? We can't be in business 24 hours a day, regardless of how much our brain doesn't shut off. So those are some really great things to highlight. In business, oftentimes we see stagnation because of some of these things, right? We miss opportunities. Our knowledge is not the most advanced. We stagnate in development. We can be resistant to change, and oftentimes we don't always execute consistently. So, in order to be sustainable in our growth, we have to be intentional about the leadership that we bring to the table. So that is where these lead principles come into place, right? Where we want to lean into opportunities, elevate our expertise, and adapt with intention while also delivering excellence. So a lot of times when people hear business development, they only think about sales, and sales is great, right? That's why we're here, because we want to make a profit. But we don't want to only focus on sales. We want to develop by making sure we're building relationships, creating value, and positioning ourselves so that opportunities come to us naturally, right? A lot of times it seems that some people are naturally drawn to opportunity, and then other people are constantly having to chase the bag, chase the wave, right? And so you want to make sure that as you're developing your skill set, that you're positioning yourself for opportunity to come to you more naturally based on what it is that you are here to do and contribute to the business segment, right? So I am a quote person. I find inspiration from people who are doing great things, even if it's in segments that I may not necessarily find myself interested in pursuing personally, right? I'm only 5'8". I could never at this point in life be a NBA player, but I think this is a great quote from Kobe Bryant. So as we go along, I'm going to leave some inspirational quotes that I find inspiration from. You can screenshot them, take them, put them on a sticky note, and go. But as we talk about leaning into opportunities, opportunities often begin with conversation, right? So one of the biggest mistakes I think that we as business owners can make is waiting for feeling ready to do something, right? Waiting to start that business, waiting to apply for a promotion until we meet all the ticks on the announcement, waiting to attend networking events like this that help build into and develop one another as business leaders, waiting to give yourself that introduction, whether it be on LinkedIn or in person. Because we feel like that other person is too busy or they have other things more important to do than talk to us, right? So, what opportunity have you been postponing that you really need to lean into, right? So, this week, the challenge is just make yourself create an opportunity, right? Connect with someone new, reconnect with someone in your network that you haven't talked to in a long time who could get you to where you're trying to go, or volunteer for an opportunity that stretches you, something like this, right? Presenting at an AI Business Summit. So opportunity opens the door, but obviously preparation helps us walk through that, which brings us to our next point, which is elevate your expertise. Again, some more inspirational quotes for you all to reflect on. So people invest in expertise, right? Most people solicit your business because they have a problem and you have the value add that they need in order to uh, deliver the result, right? That is the point of the business. So one of the greatest investments that you can make is not necessarily in your business itself, but it is in yourself. And how do you do that? Some really simple examples: gain knowledge by reading books, utilizing AI tools such as ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and other tools that are out there on the market, finding a good mentor or set of mentors that are where you're aspiring to be, right? Because instead of bumping your head continuously against the wall, you find people that have already been or are already in the direction that you're trying to go to give you guidance so that you don't have to make as many hurdles as they had to in their journey. You attend conferences, you network, you listen to podcasts, get certifications and credentials because those things help challenge what you know and refresh you as things continue to advance and develop and change. So every new skill set that you develop increases your value that you want to bring to others. Um, so my challenge to you all is if someone looks at your resume in a year, what new skill will you have brought to the table, right? So what new skill can you bring to your resume within the next year? Um, that you have been thinking about doing, that you have said that you want to do, that you have just not made action towards doing. So commit to learning one new thing a month. I know we put the B in busy. All of us are some very dynamic individuals, but just commit time once a month to learning a new skill or developing towards a certification or skill set. With that, we're going to move on to our A, which is adapt with intention. Again, a few more quotes to leave you with. I tried to mix up the people that we were getting it from because, again, we are all in different segments of business. So maybe you may gravitate to someone more so than someone else. But the marketplace changes whether we're going to change, whether we want to change or not, right? The only constant in life is change. So this is the AI summit. We have seen some very great developments with AI, and it continues to amaze me how people are able to utilize that tool to do many different things, right? The sky is the limit, technically, with regard to artificial intelligence, but there is that balance of ethics as well as making sure that you still rely on the best tool that you have, which is your brain, uh, who you are at your core, and the value that you essentially bring to the marketplace. Social media algorithms. If you're on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram or any of those other platforms promoting your business, you know that none of those platforms work exactly the same, right? So just understanding how social media can get you out there with the algorithms that they use, um, utilizing remote work, meeting customer expectations, as well as the shifts in economics, right? So for me, I am a mobile services professional, right? And one of the economic shifts that I have to pay attention to is gas costs because as I'm in my car consistently going to meet and service different client needs, I have to factor that in as I am bringing value to those customers, right? So just being aware of changes as they go. So the businesses that often thrive are not the largest in size or scale, but they're the ones that are willing to evolve. So instead of asking, what if this changes, ask yourself, how can I position myself before it changes, right? That just goes back to the earlier speaker who talked about being uh, proactive as opposed to reactive in the business market. And lastly, getting to that D, deliver excellence, right? Marketing may bring people to you, but excellence brings them back consistently. And so you want people returning your phone calls, following up, being on, make sure that you're being on time with the timelines that you set. If you make a mistake, own those mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're human, right? Even AI makes mistakes. So in delivering excellence, we will not always get it 100% right. And the goal is not to necessarily be perfect, but to make sure that we're doing our best to put our best foot forward and make sure that you keep your promise. I've always heard to under deliver, under promise and over deliver. So that is the mantra that I try to strive by. I try to give a little more than what is expected, but definitely meet what I tell my client that I'm going to do. So people may have forgot what you charge, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And the question that I want to pose to you is, what would your last client that you delivered services or value to, would they recommend you without hesitation? So just make sure that you are so reliable as a business leader that your clientele becomes your marketing team. Okay. Um, so again, we have another opportunity to participate. If you will just scan that, we'll just stay here for about 30 seconds. We're not going to belabor it too long. Okay, I see a vote for delivering excellence. Okay, leaning into opportunities, networking. It can be hard to put yourself out there, so that is understandable. Okay, it's a little balance here. Okay, I see another vote for delivering excellence and leaning into opportunity. So, just making sure that we are doing what we say we're going to do, when we say we're going to do it, how we say we're going to do it, owning our mistakes, and just also making sure that we're opening ourselves up to being put out there for new opportunities with different networking segments. This last one is really a call to action. It's just a question: what do you feel like of these principles that we talked about in the last 15 minutes, which of these will you make an effort to do in the next 7 days, right? Because action begets results. So when you make yourself get into the fray of things, you have a tendency to actually see some change that you need, right? So I'm going to leave this up here for a second, and then I'll go to my closing slide. All right. And so this is my contact information. Please feel free to screenshot this, connect with me. As we talked about, one of the principles today was leaning into opportunity. So I'd love to put that into practice. If there's something that I shared today that resonated with you, I would love to keep the conversation going. Whether you're looking to collaborate or exchange ideas, or simply just to add another person to your professional network, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am here because ultimately, some of the best business opportunities just begin with the conversation. So I'm happy to do that. As a part of our giveaway today, I am offering 2 business growth strategy sessions, which are valued roughly at about $125. They'll include a 30-minute one-on-one session with me, in which we'll do a business growth assessment. We'll customize an action plan for you, and then I'll send a follow-up strategy summary. So thank you so much, Jonah, for tapping me on the shoulder and allowing me to lean into this opportunity. I am grateful to be here and listen to you all today, and I look forward to learning as we continue this summit.
Thank you, Christopher. That's the truth. So many entrepreneurs need to hear. You cannot pour into a business 24 hours a day and expect it to last. Sustainable growth takes intentional leadership, and you gave us the blueprint. Lean into opportunities, elevate your expertise, adapt with intention, and deliver with excellence. That's not just a framework, that's a way of leading that outlasts burnout. And you showed this room that legal clarity and personal balance aren't separate goals, they're both part of building something that lasts. As a reminder to everyone, today's platform also serves as a fundraiser, so you are encouraged to support the businesses. If you see a business that speaks to you or could be valuable to someone you know, feel free to sow a seed in that business. The featured speaker is an author, speaker, and faith leader whose memoir, Becoming Jamal, chronicles his journey from the harsh realities of street life to purpose-driven leadership. His work centers on resilience, healing, and transformation through faith. Jamal, welcome.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How y'all doing this morning? Oh, wow. I just want to give a real quick shout out to everyone that's on the West Coast, okay? Because it is 7:43 a.m. on the West Coast, okay? So this has definitely been a early morning. But I am so excited and so happy to be with you guys today. I'm going to pretty much leave some real good nuggets and exactly who we are. So we're going to go ahead and get kicked off and get started. All right, so I want to welcome everybody to listen. I'm becoming Jamal, okay? Becoming Jamal. Jamal means beauty in Arabic. So really, we are becoming beautiful. All right. Um, who is Jamal Nevels? I am a founder and president of the Royal Exquisite Men, which is a nonprofit organization, group of men who feels as if we have if you have too many spots that you cannot be used for your purpose, we're definitely big on purpose. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, it is still early here in the morning. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Becoming Jamal, which is a whole brand by itself, Becoming Beautiful. I am a motivational and inspirational speaker, which I will be doing all the good speaking and motivating and inspiring you guys on today. God, it's been a great morning. I am a property management professional. I've been in the property management industry now for the past 14 years, 6 states: Alabama, South Carolina, Georgia, Kentucky, Florida, and now I reside here in sunny San Diego. I'm also an author, actor, writer, and dancer. I am a community activist and advocate. So I definitely wear many hats, and I got to give glory to God first on that. Now, I will be speaking on a couple topics on today, one of the topics I will be speaking is going to be the power of the narrative, which is going to be creating a compelling brand story for attracting funding and lifetime partners. All right. Guys, when I wrote my first book, I had just moved to California. My life had completely taken a turn. I had just lost my mom to cancer. I was diagnosed with cancer. And at that time, I was told that I needed a colostomy bag in order to survive my treatments. Mind you, I was just 32 years old. I was going through depression, grief, anxiety. Before that, I was a high school dropout, college dropout, molestation, jail time, childhood trauma, pretty much you name it. I pretty much went through it. That's why I have 99 problems and faith ain't one. All right. Um, and the time in my life, I just really refused to believe that God was going to give up. I refused to give up on God at that time frame. Okay. I really and truly did. And so this is good this morning. Y'all bear with me, y'all. Um, I found myself literally the toughest battle in my life. And I just refused to believe that God was going to allow me just for my story to end that way. So, with my faith, I continued to just push, endure, and just realize that He was really just making me beautiful. And with that being said, I have came across with these three foundations that I'm standing on, which is pretty much my business standby, which is my whole motto, which is here the butterfly, which is goes into the stage. The first stage is my lava stage. The experience. The experience is the trials and tribulations that we go through as we are navigating through life and trying to understand our journey. During this stage, we must grow and go through dirt, and it's going to be ugly. Okay, so we're this caterpillar, we this lava. Okay, we're the caterpillar just going through, right? And so we're going to be ugly, we're going to be creepy, and we're going to be just not only creepy and ugly to others, but to ourselves as well. Which typically just leads us to the cocoon stage, okay? During this cocoon stage is going to be the silence, okay? The silence, the isolation stage is where you sit and you just be silent, all right? When you take this time in this silence, you should be learning yourself. You should be learning who God is. You should be going through everything that you've been through and just really sit back and just realize that over the years, once again, one of the speakers spoke on it earlier about meeting connections, whether it's good or bad. Hopefully, you will meet more good than bad once you break out of your shell. You will realize that it was all for a reason that you was connected with that person in the first place, right? So, for instance, I met Jonah when I was 14 years old. Here I am now at 37. Um, During the silence, you should be understanding who God is and also getting to understand his ways for your life. When I didn't allow the silence to break me, I found myself molded exactly how God wanted me to be molded. This is when I entered the butterfly, the becoming stage. All right. So now I stand with all these different titles that I have. I do not like to be vain about my work because I continue to work. Um, as I had to go through the becoming, I realized that I'm still becoming. Everyone is still becoming, no matter how successful you are in life. The becoming is any process of change. We continue to change in our lives. Now, I did, I recall a conversation I had with um, a guy, he was 68 years old. Becoming Jamal was literally in its early stages, and I was walking to personally hand deliver a book to a customer, and he asked me what was in my hand. I told him my book, was giving him the story, and he told me, um, he's gone through in his lifespan at 68, he's gone through life like three different times. He's changed careers, and that's when me personally, I looked and was like, okay, my life is starting to change. I'm starting to enter into a whole new normal. And that's when I realized that becoming Jamal is more than just me. It's it's for everyone to keep becoming. Um, it's like we all have a story to tell, but our stories aren't fairy tales. Um, when I was writing this and I was birthing the brand, um, I had so much boiling inside of me that I had to release the trauma. I had to embrace all of it. And what it has allowed me to become is a lived experience. Okay. So um, most successful people, they never actually tell you, where they got started. It's just like, boom, they just pop up there. And that's what I didn't do. I actually did the opposite. I actually went through and I showed everyone how I went through and how I navigated out of it, which all of the sorts just boils down to faith. Okay. Um, which God knew what he was doing in my life. He led my mom to name me Jamal, which meant beauty. He knew that I was writing this book for a long time, and I battled with the title City Boy with Southern Charm for a long time. He led me to my publisher, who gave it as Becoming Jamal. So everything is spirit led, which brings me to my next slide, y'all. All of this is all wrapping in together, which is resilience and leadership, purpose driven community building, and systematic impact through entrepreneurship, right? So while we're all creating and keep becoming and we're making things beautiful, you know, we must understand that there's going to be challenges and there's going to be attacks. We have to understand that these things are not going to be easy. You're going to go through the mountains. You're going to go through the valleys when you're in the journey of business. It's it's up to you whether you want to sink or swim, whether you're going to barbecue or mildew. Sorry, I am a little country. Um, but you must be open to letting people in. And that's one thing that I had to learn here in California. I had to learn how to start letting different people in. And you cannot be fear of the becoming, um, because there's a community for you. The Holy Bible tells us that there's a tribe assigned to each one of us, and every butterfly has a different pattern on their wings, and every Dalmatian has different spots. I say this is to say that it's okay to be different. It's okay to have the same business like others, but it's up to you whether you're going to make your business different from all the others. You are one of a kind, you are unique. So you are going to bring something to the table. And another thing, stop trying to sit at everyone's table. You are an entrepreneur. So therefore, you have your own table. You can sit and bring as many chairs as you want to your table. And if you're anything like me, you're going to get another table and you're going to combine both of those tables together and you're just going to have one big old feast. Okay. Which pretty much brings me to my last, oops, y'all, fix it, Jesus. Oh, oh my God, what I do? Oh Lord. Oh my God. Lord Jesus. Oh Lord. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Mm. The devil big mad. Oh, he is big mad, but I don't care. When I tell you he is big mad, but I don't care, y'all. I swear I don't care. Um, but which goes back to once again, that's how I knew he was about to be big mad. Is it goes back to the vision that God gave me amongst all of this when I moved to California, right? So when I moved to California, I had a vision, that I was on a train and I was the conductor of the train. And as I was on this train, there was there was as I was on the train, I was going through mountains and valleys. And of course, on the train you have two rails. The two rails is sitting on faith and mercy. And he told me that the train is life. And he told me to tell the people, we love to say, Jesus, take the wheel. He said, Jesus is the wheel, right? So what was so crazy is that I was going through this vision. I was going through all these mountains and valleys. I was going up and down. I was taking off stops here and there. Didn't had no idea that I was actually visioning California, right? And it just stopped to where I was leading up to this real big screen where I was sitting here talking to this European lady having this conversation. And it just goes back to, our life and, you know, everything happens for a reason, but it's up to you how you're going to determine your outcome. All right. So I'm just going to leave you with a couple questions here, which is, who is driving your life? Could that be kids? Could it be family? Could it be your spouse? What's driving you right now? If you're not driving your own success, if you're not driving and continue to drive, what's stopping you from your purpose? Because there are stopping points. It's things that comes in our way, those distractions that keeps us from continuing to reach our purpose, because we know we can actually put in a little more effort into our businesses and our lives if we actually weed out the distractions. Which leads me to, I'm asking you, when are you going to say no to the distractions? Because there are going to be a bunch of distractions, once again, that's coming to your way, that's going to steer you off track. And which leads me to the next question. Where is your life and business headed? Okay. Do you know, or are you just constantly going? Have you really just sat and sat still and just really focused and realized what is the ultimate goal? And the last thing I'm going to leave you with is, how are you going to keep becoming? It's time to revamp. It's time to change over. It's time to seek something different. And just remember to keep becoming. Once again, my name is Jamal Nevels. I would like to thank you all for being with me on today. I am sorry for that little hiccup, but hey, it happens because everything is, there is going to be human error. So, hey, I make errors. Everybody makes errors, but hey, once again, 99 problems, faith ain't one. In the give up on today, I will be giving away a free t-shirt and a free copy of my memoir. Y'all have a blessed night. Bye. Blessed day. I'm tired. Jesus fix it.
Jesus has fixed it. Definitely. Thank you, Jamal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for opening with a little grace for our West Coast family still waking up this morning. We appreciate you. Jamal means beautiful in Arabic. And after what you just shared, it is clear why. You told us about becoming, moving from caterpillar to butterfly, and you didn't hide the cost of that transformation. Losing your mother to cancer and then facing your own diagnosis at just 32. That is more than most people carry in a lifetime. So, our condolences to you and your family. And thank you for not allowing silence to break you. Thank you for not refusing to give up on God. You saw him turning trial into beauty right in front of you. Beauty for ashes. This room just witnessed what that actually looks like, not as a phrase, but as a life. So thank you. And again, to everybody, this is a platform where you have the opportunity to support businesses. If that did not touch you, I don't know what will. I mean, we've had some great people speak, some really wonderful things. Somebody has touched you in some type of way. Again, thank you so very much for sharing, Jamal. We appreciate you. All right. So, the keynote speaker is an esteemed educator, strategist, and founder of Temple Builders Worldwide. Kira Thomas has experience spanning education, juvenile corrections, organizational management, and nonprofit leadership. She created the Foundation First system. Same system, different contexts. A framework used to rebuild culture and performance across classrooms, organizations, and communities. She is a passionate advocate for youth mentorship and faith-centered leadership and blends strategic insight with creative expression as a psalmist and songwriter. Please welcome the amazing keynote speaker, Ms. Kira Thomas. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can I get a thumbs up, a heart or something to let me know that you can see me? Awesome. Thank you. So again, my name is Kira Thomas. I am the founder and managing director of Temple Builders Worldwide. I help with building people and building systems. And I'm so excited to talk to you guys about something very important, and that is the priority of purpose. Can you guys let me know? Can you see my slides? Am I good? Okay, good. Thank you. All right. So today we're talking about the priority of purpose because one, we've been talking about businesses a lot today, but one of the things that is key in any business is why are you doing what you're doing in the first place? And purpose really serves two things. One, it's the heart of why you do what you do, and it's the foundation that you build everything else on, right? A lot of times what we do is we come into business chasing outcomes. So we're looking to have more freedom. We want independence. We want to be our own boss. We want to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But why are you doing what you're doing? Because when you're just chasing the outcome, it affects the way that we do things. It affects your patience. It affects the way you show up to your customers. It affects the way you show up in life, period, when you're being driven by what you can get from something as opposed to what you can pour into something. When we're outcome driven, we're looking for money. We're looking for a change of lifestyle. We may be tempted to even cut corners, or we're impatient when people come to us and they say that they have an issue you with our product or our services because I just want your money. I just want you to come and support me because I need to pay these bills. But when you're purpose driven, you're a lot more patient. You're a lot more understanding with the people that are coming to you because you're trying to change their life. Your business is a way of transforming the life of someone else. So even when we're talking about purpose, right? If let's say you own a boutique and you're outcome driven. When you are outcome driven, you're chasing trends. You're chasing what everybody else is doing out there. You may not even necessarily, have the level of quality of clothes because you're just really concerned about getting money into your account. But when you have a purpose behind what you're doing, you're not just getting clothes to fill your inventory. You're getting something that's going to create an impact in someone's life. And so I like to put it this way. Purpose drives value. Value creates impact. And what people invest in is not your business. They invest in the value of your business. Why should I shop with you? There's 50 million online and in-person boutiques. They're buying the same things that's on Temu and it's on Shein and all of these things, and you're charging me $50 for it. Why? I can get the exact same dress somewhere else for cheaper. But when purpose is at the foundation of what you're building, you're careful about the way you build your inventory, what the quality of those clothes look like, because you're not just looking to give people clothes, you're looking to give them transformation. When you buy clothes, you're not just buying clothes, you're buying empowerment. When someone shops with you, the dress they put on is the dress, the first time they've put on a dress and felt like themselves, where they felt seen, where they felt beautiful, where they felt like they can walk into any room and feel like they are them. I'm her. I'm him when I walk into this room because they shop with you. And that leaves an impression on them. So when they're thinking of, okay, what should I wear to my retirement party? What should I wear to our 50th class reunion or whatever it is they're going to, they want to invest in you because you have created a brand value that has led them to want to continue shopping with you over and over again. And so the outcome you want, which is to make money, is going to happen because you have created value that people want to invest in, right? It should drive what you produce. So I'm not going to just buy any kind of clothes. I'm going to be mindful of the fact that, well, my customer base is primarily women who may have had several children, who are still learning about the way their bodies are made, the way their bodies have changed because of giving birth. And so I'm not going to buy certain clothes just because it's trendy. I'm going to buy things that's going to make them still feel like I'm gorgeous, I look good, but it's not going to be things that would make them feel uncomfortable. It's going to make things that make them feel beautiful, but in a way that makes sense for the current season or stage of life that they're in. It determines whether or not your business is going to thrive because the outcomes don't come immediately. It takes time to build something successful. So if you have a purpose behind why you're doing this, when you don't get money as fast as you would like to, it's okay because I understand it's going to come because what I'm building is important. What I'm building is something that's going to change somebody, that's going to influence and impact their lives. And so as long as I continue to invest in this and build it up, it's going to happen eventually. Maybe not right now, maybe not tomorrow, but I can hold on for those 6 months until I finally start to see something consistently coming in. And now I have the outcomes without chasing those things first. Now, we can't get so caught up on the things that are not tangible without doing the practical, okay? Because I'm all about on earth as it is in heaven. So I get into the spiritual things, right? But I also have to do the practical. What's the practical of that? What is your plan? Do you have a business plan? Or did you just go and create a logo, start coming up with brand colors, making a website, inviting people to follow you on social media? Or did you build a plan? Where are we going? And if you have built one, when is the last time you referred to your business plan? As you're scaling your business, is it aligning with the things that you set up front in that business plan? Because that's going to also influence who you decide to rub elbows with, who you're going to allow to collaborate with you, because not everybody is meant to be a part of your business. So you want to make sure that you're also referring to this plan when you make it. Don't just let it sit on the shelf, right? Number one, what am I building and what problem does it solve? I want to be intentional about the fact that there's something that I need, that I'm solving, an issue that I'm helping to take care of. There's pain points that my clients have that I am specifically the reason they're able to deal with those pain points. Who am I building this for? I'm not sure who it was that brought it up earlier, but everybody's not going to be a part of your customer base. Everybody's not going to be your client, and that's okay. But who am I making this for? So back to the example about the boutique owner. If I know that I'm not trying to reach everybody and anybody, I don't have to worry about buying certain kinds of clothes or shoes, because I'm not looking to reach everyone. But I understand the type of clothes, the type of shoes that my primary customer base is going to want. And so when I'm buying inventory and I'm restocking, I'm making sure that the things I buy, even though they're still on trend, they're on trend for what makes sense for who I'm serving. I'm not trying to be Fashion Nova. That's not my audience, and I'm okay with that. Number three, what am I offering and how do people get it? Don't make the way people need to access what you offer difficult. If I have to run up the street, around the corner, and around the bend just to get what I need from you, I'm going to shop somewhere else. I can go up the store, go up to another store, I can find another coach, I can find another physical therapist, or whatever it is that you offer. If I have to jump through all these hoops just to get to you, yes, what you're offering looks good, but how do I get it? How do I pay you? You know, if you are trying to get to the outcome, don't make it hard for people to give you that desired outcome. I shouldn't have to, especially if we're just starting out or your business has not been established in that way. I shouldn't have to fill out 5 different forms and reply to an email just to get a book from you, just to buy a t-shirt from you. I shouldn't have to do all that. 4, how would this make money and what will it cost to run and grow? We can get a lot of resources for free on TikTok and YouTube University, but we still have to invest. If you have to sow into what you want to reap. So for your business, it's like a client of yours. Your business itself is like your client. You have to service your client. So how will I make money without putting money into the business? It sucks because you don't want to have to spend a ton of money, but you have to invest something. You can't expect to reap where you have not sowed. So how much will it cost for the idea that I have to actually function and begin to work practically as a business? And then number 5, what does success look like and how will I track it? Now, we all want to, get to the point where we are making good money, where we are seeing success, where we're able to scale our business, but that's not going to be the same for all of us. Some people want to be millionaires. Some people just want to be able to do enough to not have to struggle or worry about where my next meal is going to come from. So your idea of what success looks like for your business may not be the same. Some of the stuff that you're seeing may not necessarily make sense for what it is that you need to service your life. Have that in mind. If I'm not looking to make 2-3 millions of dollars, I'm fine being in that 6-figure bracket, then what success looks like for me is going to be different from what it looks like for somebody else. Now, remember I said we're talking about the priority of purpose. I like to use examples, y'all. I'm a teacher, so that's just what I do. We build background knowledge, activate prior knowledge, all those things. So I'm gonna give you another example. A business coach. Let's say that that's what your business is about. Everybody has seen at least one person pop up on their Facebook or something where they are a business coach. They're teaching people how to build a successful business. So that means it's a lot of people in that market doing that. What is going to set you apart? What makes you different? Why should I choose you? If you don't have a purpose behind what you're doing, you're just more noise in the market. And I might choose you because I like the clothes you wear or because you're funny and interesting, but that's about as far as that might go. But if I'm purpose driven, I understand and I know that I have a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want to create generational wealth for families. I want to teach people how to do that, but I want them to be able to be successful while also being able to create balance. And so the way I approach this is going to be different. I'm going to make sure that I'm more mindful of my clients' time. I don't want them up all hours of the night just trying to sit with me on a Zoom call because I want them to be able to go and spend time with their families. I want to teach them how to balance between showing up for the game, showing up for the dance recitals, but also knowing how to structure and manage that time so that they can build their business and it can even be something that they can teach their own kids. That's going to inform even the way that I'm coaching people because I got to teach you, how do I do this? How do I make sure that I'm still being successful when it comes to building a business, but also making sure that I'm making time for my family? And so the way that I build my system, the way that I teach my clients is going to be different. And not only that, but because my purpose is at the foundation of it, it's even easier for me to isolate what is my target demographic? What market what part of the market am I cornering on? Because I know my purpose, and that purpose drives not only my why, but also my how. How do I achieve this? How do I help people get from point A to point B? All of that's important, which is why we can't afford to put purpose on the shelf. We have to make it a priority. We have to make it the foundation, the driving force behind why we're doing what we're doing. And then I just want to leave you with 5 keys. My name is Kira, so of course you get 5 keys. 5 keys to remember. Number 1, motion does not mean progress. I heard this quote. I'm not sure who said it, but it's always stuck with me, which is that time is the most expensive thing you own. Why? Because once you spend time, you can't get it back. You can always make more money, but your time, once that's gone, you're not getting that back. And so the way you sow your time has to be purposeful. It has to be intentional. It has to be for the right reasons. So we can't just be busy running all over the place trying to get stuff done. And we never use that time to invest in things wisely. Wisdom is profitable to direct. Because if we're not operating in wisdom, even when it comes to our time, we miss opportunities. Now you've invested 3 hours into something that you really could have spent 30 minutes working on, and over time, it still would have yielded the same return that you're looking for. Number 2, be patient because it won't all happen overnight. It's going to take time. So while you're waiting, you have to water. While you're waiting, you keep learning, you keep refining, you keep fine tuning, you keep being under people who have done this before, who understand more than you do, and you take notes and you ask questions and you make sure that you're watering what you're building. And as you continue to do that, eventually you will get to the outcomes, right? Number 3, Build value, because that's what people buy. They don't just want your product, they invest in your value. People associate your value with your business. You can think probably off the top of your head of certain places that you know for sure, I'm going to shop here because I trust that when I come here, I'm going to have a good experience, or I'm going to get a good quality product. You already have people in your mind or businesses in your mind that off top, you're like, oh yeah, it's not a question. I'll shop here. I'll invest here. And that's what you're doing for your business. You're building your value. Number 4, trust your value. You are not in competition with anybody else. You are the only person that can do what you do. And so what people want is not just what your business offers. They want it because you're the one offering it. So you have to trust the fact that any room you step into, you can step into with your head held high. I don't care if it's 5 other realtors in the room, okay? They not going to be the same realtor I am. I don't care if it's 5 other life coaches in the room. People are going to come to me because there's value that I hold. There's weight that I carry when I step into the room. And last but not least, understand your value. Stand by your prices. Understand the fact that your time, you can't get that back. So it's valuable. And it's okay to stand by the prices that you set. Now make it realistic to whatever it is you're offering people, but still, if I'm going to sit on this call with you and I'm investing my time, my energy, my effort, my resources into you, then if I say it's $100, it's $100. And it's okay if that's not for you. That's fine. But I understand the fact that I carry value, that I carry weight, and that it's worth investing in that weight. You're going to weigh me properly if you're for me. And set boundaries around your time, right? Set boundaries around the way you spend your time. You don't have to give yourself to everything and everybody, family, friends, or otherwise. It's okay. And you don't have to feel guilty about it because, again, you have value and your value is important. So, if you didn't get anything else out of what I said today, I just want you to remember that somebody out there needs exactly what you carry, exactly what you offer. So go and build with purpose. Feel free to contact me, reach out to me, connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn. I have the QR codes up on the screen. But that's it for me. Again, make sure you go and build with purpose.
All right, love that. Thank you, Kira, for that impartation. Definitely an impartation. That's a keynote this room needed. There is nothing wrong with wanting freedom or money or the outcomes we chase, but you just showed us the difference between chasing an outcome and living a purpose. Purpose produces the very outcomes we were chasing all along, and purpose gives us patience, purpose gives us understanding, and it reminds us that our businesses were never just about the bottom line. They are a way of transforming the lives of others. Outcomes chase trends, purpose drives value, outcomes fade, purpose remains. And that is the real bottom line. And that is the word we're carrying out of this room today. We have now concluded our speaker series and will transition into the executive power panel. But it looks like Dr. April Jones just joined us, so we will provide her with an opportunity to share some gold nuggets, but let me provide the introduction she deserves. So, Dr. Jones is a visionary academic leader, licensed social worker, and organizational psychologist with more than 20 years of experience. Dr. April Jones has led innovations in digital education, telebehavioral health, AI-enhanced learning, and trauma-informed digital mental health. She has secured more than $600,000 in grants and built international partnerships. Dr. Jones, welcome.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. I will share my presentation. Good morning to everyone. I hope everyone had coffee. It's Saturday. All right, let me just share screen and we'll jump right into some information for business owners, small business owners. Let's see. Share. All right, can everyone see the presentation? I hope so. Is that a yes, no? Can someone let me know? And I'm listening, not looking at chats.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, let me full screen. For those of you who are entrepreneurs in business or just curious about AI and how you can incorporate it into your work, that's what I hope to share with you today. While I work by day in academia, I own my own private business, Visionary Consulting Services, that offers a consultanship of AI solutions. So I want to give you a snippet in these 15 minutes of two topics: practical AI and policy for small businesses. How can you look at low-cost automation, ethical guardrails, and a blueprint for scalable growth? When we say guardrails, some of you may know that as privacy or confidentiality or protections, just to give you an idea of the AI language, what guardrail means. And I'm sure you know what the rest means. So let's get into it. So today's promise to you, and I hope it's not broken, is that you learn how to save time, build trust, and have scalable responsibility. I'm trying to move my Zoom screens around so that I can see. So the first thing is see AI clearly. Understand what AI can and cannot do for your business. Now, I will not attest that I am the AI guru because it changes daily. So information shared today is current up to date to my knowledge, right? So there's always someone who knows more, and so you'll get what I have based off what I know since getting into the AI business. Two, find your first win. Everyone seems to be out here like AI is so exciting. And you want to do this, and that. And it's almost like ADHD, right? And we know even ADHD has to get wheeled in, right? So wheel yourself into your first win. Identify one repetitive, low risk worth automating. Start with one big win and see how that works, and then scale. Three, build a workflow. Use a simple trigger, AI assistant, human review, and action model. We're going to get into that. And lead with a plan. Start a 30-day pilot with guardrails, measures, and a budgeting ceiling. Those are the key four things I hope that you will learn how to tie into saving time, building trust, and scaling your responsibility of AI in your business. Okay. So AI is not magic. If you thought it was, it really isn't. It's really only as good as the human subject matter expert behind it. It's a capable assistant, but in my opinion, there's always a human in the loop. Humans will never be completely replaced. Now, it could right size and downsize the number of humans you need in your business, but someone still has to be the human in the loop. So the owner stays in the loop. You set the goals. AI is your assistant, and you verify what AI produces, and the business acts accordingly. So the myth, AI will run my business for me. No. Even online stores don't run 100% for you. Automation means replacing people. Yes and no. I think yes and no. You don't have to replace people, but some jobs it could perhaps function with less people, not total replace of people. I need a large technology budget. Yes and no. It depends on what you're trying to do, but not really. Reality is AI does drafts, classifies, summarizes, and suggests. Automation removes repeat work so people can find focus on relationships and judgment. And a useful pilot can begin with tools you already utilize, but want to make it more efficient, more effective, more less time consuming. So start with the work, not the tool. Some people want to jump right into Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, all those things. There's so many more out there. But first, as I said, start with a big win and a focus and will yourself back to choose the task that you think you need AI assistance with. So don't automate first. So is there something that's repetitive, occurs weekly or daily? Ask yourself these actionable questions. Rule based. You have to make sure it has a clear fit this, then that. So if this, then that. So when you talk about automations, and some of you already do that, you already know you have to do the workflow, right? Low risk. What errors are reversible? Is what I'm proposing to do low risk that if it should error, it won't cause me a large liability or human subject harm? Measurable. What's the time, cost, or response rate that it could improve? So think about do not automate first employee discipline, legal or financial decisions, sensitive customer complaints, final hiring decisions, anything you cannot explain or verify. I would not automate that first. Those are high stakes, human led initiatives that are going to take more time, practice, and rolling out of AI agents or software. The simple automation formula, the first thing is to trigger a form is submitted. The second part of it is AI being your assistant to draft, classify, summarize, or do something else. And 3 is the human check. You want to verify the facts, the tone, and the privacy that AI is proposing. And then 4, action. You want to be able to now allow that to send, save, assign, or schedule for your business. So the rule of thumb is automate movement of information, but keep the human check as the judgment and approvals, and continue to build those relationships with humans. 6 low-cost automation wins that you can consider for your small business, or perhaps you have a large business. Whatever business you have, inquiries, forms, categorized leads, and response drafts. Instead of someone having to wait, it can be instant. Appointments, booking confirmations, and reminders. Your personal, I want to say, admin assistants or clerical person, right? That cuts a little bit, maybe time and effort from that human who works in that position, or it might cut out that position. Who knows? Depending on how great your agent is, but you're still going to have someone to check and follow up. So I would say it's going to reduce some of that person's workload. Content, one idea, then send it through an email with captions and a calendar. Content creator, what could take you hours? I know in the behavioral sciences, what could take hours to research and put together, an AI agent that's configured correctly can do it in minutes and give us back more work-life balance in our life. Meetings, I use the note taker, Zoom AI note taker. It can do summaries, tasks, and follow-up way better as picture captures. It can record. So that's where it comes in great, where everyone is free to be in the meeting, right? But no, we still have to have that designated person to check, because if pronunciation is not clear, or there's a Southern dialect versus an international, it could misconstrue words. It could hear one word that has several meanings and put the wrong word there. So that's why I say that is mostly a myth that it's going to replace humans, because a human has to be in the loop to check the accuracy of what was said. And that's why you record to replay to see, okay, this is what AI did not dictate correctly. Invoices, due dates, reminders, owner alerts. I use AI to create my invoices for my secondary business, Legacy Collections, which is a business that does handcrafted jewelry, clothing, and candles, and custom gifts. And so it's amazing. So it does cut the cost of me having an assistant, but I have that knowledge of marketing and business. So I'm my own editor, right? But if it ever takes off, I would need someone to be the editor of AI as well. Even though I would save in some areas, it's still a need for the human in the loop. Reviews, purchase, review requests, response drafts, all those things, but pick one, prove the value, and then scale to others. Workflow example, never lose a warm lead. AI is great with website forms. You need your name, need, and consent. Automatically creates a lead record, and AI drafts a tailored response to them. Some of you may work already with the chat box for agencies, the chat bots, and they talk back and forth. Those are AI. And then it says, I'm sorry, I don't quite understand your request. Would you like to speak to a representative? Or let me connect you with a representative. That means the bot cannot think beyond what it's been programmed or configured to do. And it's saying, hey, I'm confused. You need a human, because you're asking something more complex than I've been configured to do. So think of that example as far as workflow. Over review, check promise and tone, and then follow up. with email, task, and reminders. So you want to measure and look at your response time, your follow-up completion, your qualified lead rate, and your appointments booked. And looking at the human checkpoint, you want to approve everything before sending anything that includes a promise, a price, a deadline, and sensitive detail, right? You want to protect your liability there when using AI. And then, what does it save time on? If you got to sell this to someone or to a loan or a banker, how is this helping your business and how is it going to make you increase your return on investment? So 6 low cost automations. I think we went over that. Oh, my slides are going in the wrong order. Okay. A minimum valuable AI policy protects trust, cash, and reputation. You got to protect your data. Look at your liability insurance for that as well. Use minimum necessary data, remove names and identifiers. Those in the behavioral sciences, I do not use it for therapy. There is AI therapy software out there that has built guardrails and protections, but for me, I just use it for assistance with different notes and things and making sure I have my de-identifiers, not putting personable information about clients because that's against confidentiality, HIPAA, and so many other things when it comes to ethical practice. Authority. AI may draft, a named person approves higher impact actions. So who has the authority over all of this AI? Who's your AI job person? Okay. Have you created that description in your agency? And does it need to be several based off what you're using AI for? Security, use approved accounts, access controls, and strong authentication. If you have IT, great. If you don't, however you use security and what a company does that for you, or if you're a company, make sure that you have security and insurance in place. Because whether it's AI or anything with online or automated systems, you need that cybersecurity protection because hackers are out there and they do malicious things. Accuracy, verify the facts, calculations, links, prices, and claims. Know with AI, the free version versus a paid version is going to be different. And one of the AI systems I love to use is Perplexity AI because I'm in higher ed and consultantship. It's you get what you pay for, but you also get certain protections by the prescription where your information is not used for training or shared, etc. Some companies will have their own AI subscriptions and policies and frameworks and so forth. So those are things to think about. Being transparent, disclose AI use when customers reasonably need to know. Because I have a whole side of my business that can use AI solutions. I give customers the choice. Do you want A or B? Do you want certain services? And then records. Keep the final approved version and details. I don't know if the hand means I'm running out of time or out of time, but I'm on my last few slides. Is there a question?
Yes, that hand does mean you're running out of time. But yes, thank you so much for wrapping up that final slide. We appreciate you.
Okay, so measure value before buying more technology. Basically, what's your baseline, quality, speed, and outcome? And you see the notes there. So, what hours are saved, hourly value, errors avoided, revenue captured, and tool costs and review time. A 30-day sprint for you. Week 1, you want to map. Week 2, build. Week 3, test. Week 4, make a decision of whether to go forth or to rework what you're trying to build. Make sure you look at your budget ceiling and choose it before the trial actually launches as well to make sure you can afford to sustain and scale. Your first automation decisions, you're going to look at tasks, triggers, AI assistant, human checks, then actions, and then measures. And automate the repeatable, govern the consequential, and scale the works. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you have my email address there and phone number where you can reach me. And let me just get my alternate email because this one has been having issues. It's vcsllc.co@gmail.com. You can utilize that email and the phone number is functional. You can call or text message me for an appointment, and someone will be a lucky winner of our AI consult today. Thank you. Back
Thank you,
over to
Dr.
the-
Jones. Low-cost automation, ethical guardrails, and a blueprint for scalable growth. That's exactly what this room should walk away with. You can grow fast and grow right. Technology should serve your values, not replace them. And that's a perfect launch pad into our next conversation. So the summit continues with the Executive Power Panel. 4 leaders are joining the discussion, each bringing a distinct lens on strategy, brand, leadership, and growth in the AI era. Panelist Jonah Hall returns to contribute additional perspective. Aisha Griffin is a survivor of domestic and gun violence who became an advocate for healing and change, transforming her experience into storytelling and support for other survivors seeking justice. Crystal Napier is a certified image consultant and founder of Renee's Boutique, providing fashion, fit, and wellness support to help women feel seen, supported, and confident. Ariel Vaughn is a certified success and emotional intelligence coach and host of the It's Time to Be You podcast, helping high achievers lead with authenticity through emotional intelligence and practical business insight. Panelists, welcome.
Thank you so much. And it's Crystal Napier for Renee's Boutique. But thank you so much for having us.
Did I say Napier again? I'm sorry. Crystal Napier, we just talked about this yesterday. My apologies to you.
It's
Absolutely.
quite all right. Bless you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you, beautiful. Okay. Thank you, Jonah. All right. Question 1 is for Jonah Hall. All right. So, Jonah, you work closely with founders who are scaling quickly and often discovering blind spots that they did not know existed. A major theme of building a sustainable business is navigating the hidden blind spots, the reality that leaders do not know what they do not know. So, when designing a strategic blueprint for a scaling business, what is the number one operational or foundational infrastructure element entrepreneurs frequently overlook until it begins to cause friction?
I'm gonna go back to something I think Kira said, their business plan. It seems like so cliche, but that business plan is your blueprint for your business. And I feel like a lot of people try to create, develop, and even scale their companies without actually defining what their company is, who their target audience are, different segments, like how they communicate. I feel like, even before AI, like I know this is an AI discussion or AI panel, but I have to say that business plan is so representative of everything that you want for your company. And I used to always say people have a business card before they have a business plan, but if you don't have a business plan, you don't have a business. That's how I always feel. And so I feel like use AI to create, like, put your thoughts. Like I teach kind of like prompt engineering a little bit. We'll do that in the Ideal Business Bootcamp. But put your thoughts about your company, everything, and don't just, I talk to my clients about this. List things throughout the day. Take a week, take some time, list everything out that you want for your company. Then put that in the business, in the AI, or GPT. I like Gemini, that's fine. But I feel like so many people, they just put like a generic thought or idea or just like a couple of lines, and then they want the GPT to kind of do all the heavy lifting and like develop it all the way out. But that's not your business. That's just a product of GPT. I feel like GPT is, like Dr. Jones said, is something that you should use with human labor, not instead of human labor. And so I always say it seems like because a lot of people don't see this as a tool either. Your business plan is one of the biggest tools that you will use to be able to scale and grow your company and develop your company. Because I always say, if you don't have that plan, how do you know if you succeeded? There's nothing written out. You may be making money, and become profitable, but you're not able to scale once things get like around a certain number or around a certain level, because you don't even have what you call it, a track. You're so off course from your original plan. And then when you try to pivot, the rebrand, people don't follow because you're all over the place. And it just so happens that what you were doing was profitable, but you don't really have a consumer base because you really never had a plan. You just had a hustle.
All right. Thank you, Jonah. The perspective shared definitely reinforces how essential it is for founders to build structure early. before friction appears. So your insight provides meaningful direction for attendees evaluating their operational foundations. Very nice. Question 2 is for Crystal and Jonah. So ladies, many small business owners want to leverage automations, AI integrations, and new software stack tools to streamline their workflows, but they fear losing their authentic brand voice or overwhelming their team. How can leaders design behavioral systems that integrate modern technology seamlessly into their daily operations to reclaim time without losing the human element? And Crystal,
Jonah?
you can go first if you'd like.
Okay. So this is something that I'm actually currently in the process of streamlining in my own business because I did a pivot in my business 2 years ago to kind of move my business away from the retail side and have really dove into being a consultant as well as a mastectomy fitter. So I have a specialty, and AI has definitely assisted me with streamlining those processes and also just being productive and creating documents, so I can, as Jonah just said about the business plan, so I can know where I'm going. And I love the fact that I use Copilot and Chat GPT to help me tweak a lot of things in my thoughts, which cuts down on my time because, as our keynote speaker said, time is the most valuable resource for any human, and especially for entrepreneurs. So it has made a definitely a different. It's allowed me to have time back into my business to focus on the things that I need to elevate my business and streamline it. And so it's made it much easier and convenient.
Thank you. Jonah, I would love to hear your perspective. All right. Well, let's see here. I think okay. All right, so why don't I address that same question? Well, let's move forward to the next question actually, and we'll circle back to Jonah. How about that? All right, everyone can still hear me, right? If you can, please give me a thumbs up.
No, I'm so sorry. I was on mute. I was talking the whole time.
Okay, I didn't see you or didn't see anything. I'm like, okay, maybe she took a break. All right, so please continue. We definitely want to hear your perspective.
Could you please clarify the question? Because now I'm confused.
That's okay. I'll repeat it for you. Okay. So let's see here. How can leaders design behavior systems that integrate modern technology seamlessly into their daily operations to reclaim time without losing the human element?
That's a great question. I think Dr. Jones hit it on the nail on the head when she was talking about the human in the loop. Because I feel like a lot of people, first of all, don't understand how important human labor is to any system or process that you have. A lot of people want to use AI to replace human effort and labor because they're cheap and they want to make more profit, but you'll end up losing profit because people pay for nuance. People pay for individuality and customizations. And like a lot of people are joking around saying like all the flyers now that are produced by GPT, they all look alike. And so everything is start being conformed. And here's the thing, once you start training GPT on GPT outcomes and results and outputs, then you have an infinite loop of literally becoming the actual thing that you was trying to avoid, and that's unrecognizable. And so I feel like I always tell all of my clients the first thing to do is to always research. A lot of people, when they get this idea, they want to go out and just implement it. But I feel like research what systems, what processes, even the labor and skills or certifications that you may even need. for your particular niche or organization or business. Then go and find the processes, whether it's automations, integrations, or whatever that may be. You find things and systems and processes that will help you implement those goals that you are achieving and striving for. And these become our legacy systems. After you have created your legacy systems, then if you want to upgrade to more AI tech or other automations or integrations, you're able to kind of see what your human labor provided. And you'll want to find systems that can kind of mirror that. You don't ever want to heavily relies. I just saw somebody in the Zoom chat says, you still need that human power. You don't want to ever heavily rely on the GPT. You always want to rely on I always call it, you want to rely on human language, not large language models. So I feel like if you know what you want your outcomes to be, then it will be easy to create systems and processes and use the integrations that will achieve those goals.
Very nice. Thank you both. Yeah, time is the only currency, and it's great to use AI to optimize workflows, right? It's important to remain to use that editorial layer as AI users, right? We want to remain in control, treat AI as a partner. And the guidance offered highlights the balance between technology and authenticity. It reminds attendees that systems must support the brand rather than overshadow it. And your combined insight offers a practical path for integrating modern tools without losing the human element. Thank you very much. All right, question 3 is directed to Aisha and Ariel. All right, so ladies, your work is deeply rooted in story, healing, and community impact. So to stand out and attract high-value partnerships and secure fundraising, a business needs a powerful brand architecture. So how can a visionary leader take their raw personal story, their heritage, or a social impact mission and translate it into a compelling, market-ready narrative that drives real community engagement and equity?
I'll go ahead and kick it off. First, I just want to say, like, this whole summit today has been really amazing. And I think throughout everyone's session, we've seen how people's personal stories has really turned into their work and making it marketable, and how they're serving people in their community. And especially with the keynote talking about your purpose. And I think when we have our story, that's what drives our purpose. And your story is what shows what you believe in and what your values are. It shows what transformation that you are hoping to help with the clients that you serve, the problems that you're solving. So I think it's really getting just clear on how your story connects with your ultimate purpose and mission. And also when you're telling your story, to tell it in a way that connects with people. Because, when you think about marketing, it is all about how is your target audience receiving the information? Do they actually connect with it? And that's why stories can be so powerful, because people connect with each other's stories. They see something in your story that makes them be like, yes, like this is for me, or I want to connect more with this person. So I think that's why, knowing your story and being able to connect with people can really help you connect when you are marketing yourself and when you're fundraising. That will help.
Thank you. I love that. All right, Aisha.
Good afternoon, everyone. I write my answers down, so I'm attentive, but I'm also looking at my notes. For me, brand architecture is more than a logo, a name, or a collection of programs. It's the structure that connects my lived experience, my purpose, and the work that Survivor Me Incorporation does. Survivor Me was born from my journey. The foundation is an extension of my testimony, but it's also bigger than me. What makes my brand authentic is that I'm not speaking about survivors from a distance. I'm speaking from my personal experience, My role is not to tell someone how to heal, but to remind them that healing is possible, that their voice matters, and that they deserve support, safety, and an opportunity to rediscover themselves beyond what happened to them.
Very nice. Thank you both. The reflections shared emphasize how powerful a well-crafted narrative can be in shaping visibility, credibility, and community impact. So your insight gives attendees a clear understanding of how story becomes strategy. All right, moving right along to question 4, which is directed to Aisha, Crystal, and Ariel. All right, so networking today is not just about connection. It's about building ecosystems that accelerate growth. Strategic networking and community building are critical for modern B2B and B2C growth. What are the most effective strategies for small business owners looking to break out of their professional silos and build intentional cross-industry networks, such as partnering with regional business chambers or major corporate channels to fast-track their growth? And Aisha, if you want to go ahead.
I sure will. As a survivor and a founder, I understand that healing often requires more than one service. Some survivors may need a safe housing, legal support, mental health resources, employment opportunities, financial education, healthcare, transportation, childcare, and a community that believes in them. That is why cross-industry networking is so important in the work that I do.
Very nice. Very nice. Crystal?
I was just thinking about Dr. Jones, and Jonah touched on that point of making sure that there is a human involved in an AI. And I think with networking and strategic planning, using AI, that's what it's about, is having that human touch. I know from my experience in being in business almost 12 years, my most meaningful things to my business has been the relationships that I have built. And that didn't happen from sitting behind a computer screen. That happened with literally boots on the ground, being out in my community, just like I am today. I'm actually set up at another women's conference while I'm sitting here talking to you all, because it's not just important to me to put my face in the community, but immerse myself in the community and do my best to uplift people, especially women. And that has just did nothing but continue to promote my brand, but also allowed me to walk in my purpose and my faith and just continue to make more connections. And it's made business so much easier to partner with other amazing people in the community, that I don't have to carry everything by myself. And that was something that has came about through experience, because I was trying to do a lot by myself in previous years. And I'm actually grateful to Ariel. Her and I have partnered for a few years, and she has made a huge impact on assisting me with growing in the community and my brand. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Crystal. Ariel, please.
Yeah, well, Crystal, thank you for saying that. And I love seeing you out in the community and all that you do. And I think both of y'all kind of hinted at it, is that we can't do this alone and you can't do everything. I think that is one thing that we try to do as entrepreneurs, is like, we want to do it all, but we can't do it all. And that's why networking and connecting and collaborating can be just so powerful in building your business. And whether that is going out to in-person events or doing things virtually, it's all about connecting and who you know. And I think some strategies around that is thinking about, first of all, like, what industry are you in and what organizations, like trade associations, are available for you to network in, but then also thinking about what are some adjacent industries that you could work with and partner with, and thinking about strategic partnerships. If it's putting on an event where you're getting multiple people together, that way everyone is highlighted and visible. And just the more that you're putting yourself out there, people start seeing you as like, oh, you're the go-to person for this. Like if I need this, I'm going to go to you, or you're going to start being referred to by other people the more that you network and become visible and let people know what you are offering. So I love networking. I think that's one thing that people kind of shy away from at first. But if you just see it as you are just trying to meet people and learn from them, think about other people first and what they're doing and how you can offer value to them. And then it's just, ripple effect. It feeds off of each other.
Excellent. Thank you, ladies. The strategies outlined underscore the importance of intentional relationship building and cross-industry collaboration. So your insight provides attendees with actionable ways to expand their ecosystems and accelerate growth. All right. So we've come to question 5. This is our rapid fire action item, our final panel question. Okay. So this final question states, if there is one definitive action item or shift in strategy regarding operations, security, or marketing that every small business owner in this room should implement by tomorrow morning to protect and scale their business, what would it be? And this question is for all of the panelists. So take it away. And Ariel, you're more than welcome to kick us off if you want.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll go ahead and kick it off. My thing is imperfect action. I think there's always things that we know that we're supposed to do. So if there has been a step that you have thought about, or maybe an aha moment for today, just do it. Just try and see what happens and be imperfect about it.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. Next.
I want to piggyback off of what Ariel just said. And first of all, I want to say something about Ariel and Crystal. We'll talk about that because I want to give them their props like later on. But I really and truly want people to understand, and y'all have, I've just said it, understand that you don't know what you don't know. And it's okay, like Ariel just says, imperfect action is still action. It might not get you where you want to go, but it'll get you somewhere. And here's the thing, the journey is the biggest part of the process. Like that's sometimes the whole point. Like I remember one time when I was working at another company and I was like, God, when can I leave? Because I knew it wasn't my final like calling. And he said, you know how to lead, but I need you to learn how to follow. And he said, when you learn how to follow, I will release you. And I remember I was just sitting there at my desk one day and I was like, ooh, I love it. Like I could just be here for another 20 years. And God said, oh, you can go now. I was like, huh? He said, you have learned how to follow. You can go now. And I feel like a lot of people want to own their own businesses and companies so they can say, I'm the CEO, I'm the boss, I run things. And you don't make no money. You got a habit, a hobby, not a actual enterprise. And I feel like, and this is me as well. I mean, I'm throwing stones, but I'm hitting myself too. But I feel like a lot of people don't want to actually do the work, but they want to make the money. They want the influence, they want the platform, but they don't want to actually struggle. And I always say, when you go into business for yourself, you stop having one boss or two. Everybody is now your boss. You answer to everyone. And this is something I had to learn. And I feel like if you are barely making it at your 9 to 5, baby, just stay there because you will not make it as an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneur is forget 24/7, 25/8, sometimes 30/10. You have to work. And like last night, I didn't go to sleep till like 2:30. It's a park, like we was texting. like I didn't go to sleep till like 2:30 last night. And just to do a 3-hour summit. And I'm so glad you all came. You all are so beautiful. But I feel like a lot of people, when I'm counseling them or talking to them about developing their businesses, they get hung up on this. I need an LLC. Like I remember one time I was taking somebody through the process. I need an LLC. Do you have a business plan? Do you have a bank account? Do you have the operations plan? Do you have the what's the statement that you sent me, Crystal, put in the group chat? Like, do you have any of those things? Because guess what? If you get an LLC and pay all that money for it and don't have those things, a third-day attorney will rip through it and shred it to pieces because there is a clear tearing of the corporate veil. They have to get pierced it. They will stomp it down. Your LLC is meaningless if you don't have all those other things as well. Because they will say there is no separation from personal assets to your company assets. Because everything is commingling together. There's no structure. But you got an LLC though. Good for you. It's worthless. And I feel like when I take people through the process, they're trying to rush. When I say to the end, I'm not even saying to the end of the process. I'm saying they just want to be able to get out there and say, I'm a business owner, but you don't have a business or a company. And I'm preaching to myself. I remember sitting down, I was like, Jonah, you are not making money. And people don't want to talk about that. You're not making money. So how can we do this to make money? And every design I have, even the Ideal Business Bootcamp plug, is designed to make money and monetize and become profitable. So I feel like when you are giving help, receive it, take it, and learn. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but please, from the Ideal Business Bootcamp to the young people here who are representing their companies who have done beautiful presentations, please reach out to us. Please, if you need help. If you've got it, great. But if you need help, talk to someone. Don't just be so happy to be on your social media posting, but your bank account does not reflect that. Are you a business owner or are you not?
Very good. Very, very, very good. I don't know. Do we even follow after that? I mean, those were all of the gold nuggets. Definitely all of the gold nuggets. Was there another panelist that wanted to contribute to recommending a definitive action item or shift in strategy regarding operations, security, or marketing that every small business owner in this room should implement by tomorrow morning?
I was just going to add that while you decide on those things to implement in your business, make sure that you focus on yourself first, creating that self-confidence. Because the thing about having your own business is you have to be secure in who you are in order for your message to come across and execute your purpose, and make sure that you're listening to yourself, because there's going to be a whole lot of information, resources, and people in your ear. And you truly have to stay grounded sometimes and take a step back and give yourself grace and listen to what you need. Before you move forward. And I don't think we do that enough when we are in business. We kind of get so busy and distracted, as Derek said, the first speaker, and we allow those distractions to take us off course of what we originally set out to do. And when I speak this from complete experience and just knowing and learning how to give myself grace and staying concrete in my confidence. And that's a part of my business too, is helping women have that confidence to go out into the world and execute what their purpose is. And I am so sorry, but I do have to drop off because I have committed to this other conference. This has been amazing, Jonah, all of the speakers. Thank you all so much for having me on. It has been a blessed opportunity, and I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you so much. Were there any other comments from the panelists as we wrap up? Okay. All right. Well, thank you to all of the panelists. The action items shared offer clear Immediate steps attendees can implement to strengthen operations, security, and marketing. Your guidance provides a strong close to this panel. So everybody, let's just show our speakers and panelists a whole lot of love in your chats. What they shared with us today was pure gold, nuggets of wisdom, and iron sharpening iron, and this room is better for it. As a friendly reminder, this platform is indeed a fundraiser and a seed sowing opportunity. So you heard a lot of great nuggets. Feel free to move forward with any type of support. So at this time, I will toss the microphone over to Jonah Hall as we prepare for the audience Q&A, promos, and closing. Take it away.
First of all, thank you, Sparkle. Let me tell you about Sparkle. I have to give her her props real quick. She came in. I didn't did all that preaching I just did, but I don't be taking my own advice. I didn't even understand how intrinsic this was going to become. And she literally came in the ninth hour and helped save a lot of stuff, like from hosting, moderating. So I appreciate you so much. The second part is that we're about to do our drawings, but first I want to give people an opportunity to drop questions in the chat for Q&A while we're doing the drawing. So once we wrap up with the drawings, we can go straight into Q&A. And so for everybody else, they can kind of like leave if they need to. But I said if you stay around this long, and we had up to like 25-ish people on the live chat, plus the 11 people that are in the Zoom. So give yourselves a round of applause. You are amazing, and I appreciate you. But before we go, I want to kind of just tell everybody about the speakers and panelists. They stepped in without, this was a community fundraiser. They had to pay to be on the flyer. That alone says everything because they were here literally pouring into you, literally and figuratively. It's 3 people though that I do want to from the Alabama, oh my God, the AI Business Chamber that I do want to recognize that were a part of this panel and speakers panel, but also just a member who is doing amazing things in their community. And I would like to present 3 awards. The first award is, let me make sure. Okay. Let me see if I can share this. The first award goes to Jamal Nevels, the Pillar of Success Award, in honor of remarkable vision, exemplary leadership, and embodying the foundational principles of success. He literally, every time I look up, because I'm his PR person, is sending me calendar invites or he's in the community, he's boots to the ground. And I want to acknowledge him and just say thank you for being boots on the ground. And he knows the Lord. I always tell people, please go. When I say his book is tea, it is a read. Becoming Jamal, available everywhere, literally. But I remember one of the stories in the book. He met a witch, befriended the witch, had no place to go, so he moved in with the witch, and the witch got saved. I say it's a lot of Christians who say they know God, but whenever move in with a witch because they'll be scared of witchcraft. But the witch got saved. So I literally want to just say thank you, Jamal. Thank you for everything that you do. And it does come with a little cash award. So, my next award is to, let me make sure I can share it. Kira Thomas, the Catalyst for Change Award, to celebrate outstanding vision, leadership, and a commitment to embracing change and pivoting in a new direction while helping others along the way. She also has written a book, and if you know Kira's story, she's always talking about how she kind of shifted into education. And that's what kind of spearheaded her whole Temple Builders Worldwide company. because she didn't know what she didn't know. And she wanted other educators, especially ones pivoting into education, to understand the ins and outs. So because you made the change, you have become a catalyst for change, Kira. And I want to honor you on today. Well, there's this certificate, but also a little change. And last but not least, I just got scared because I don't know if she's on here. I told her to be on here. But our Community Visionary Award is going to Angel Parrish. Angel is always boots to the ground, boots on ground, whatever, however they say it. Every time I look up, she's doing something, giving something away. Like literally, the first Freebie Friday AIBC had was her donation to us to give out to our members. She's always thinking of other people, always trying to put people together, always trying to partner with people. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, Angel, if you are on here, I love you. I appreciate you. And the best is yet to come. You are her. Don't you ever forget it. Love you, girl. And also, every speaker will be emailed. I don't know if you can see it. A certificate. Let me see if I can do it. I'm gonna have to take my background off. Give me 1 second. Hey, I did all that to put the background on. And now I need to turn it off. Every can you see this? Well, I don't know. Every person will be emailed a certificate for their attendance. I hope you can see it. And it's a couple of other things that I will email you an option about. So thank you guys so very much. And now we're going to do our drawings. Sparkle, I'll toss it back to you. You tell me the prize, and they must be present to win because everybody else didn't stay. Everybody else didn't stay.
All right, you heard her. You must be present to win. Okay, so from April Jones, we have one free AI business consult as our first giveaway.
It's me. It's me.
Is it really?
Yes.
All right,
Look at God.
congratulations.
And all the speakers and panelists, if you're still here, you can come on now. This is a great opportunity for you to come on.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, very good.
I'm gonna say April, Jonta. Okay. Next.
Okay. All right, next we have Alabama Apostle and Notary Services from Christopher Jordan. 2 30-minute sessions with multiple service options available. Who's our winner?
Keitra Hill. Is Keitra Hill on the line?
Keitra Hill, are you here to claim your giveaway? Gotta be present.
It's Keitra Hill. Keitra Hill, going once. Put it in the chat if you're here. Going once. Going once. The live stream is a little behind, so we may
Okay.
have to because they're still congratulating Kira.
I love it. As they should. As they should.
Keitra Hill. We'll just say Keitra Hill. Keitra Hill.
Keitra Hill.
Nobody's saying anything, so we finna draw again. Like Ariel was like Ariel was still on screen, but she's still here. So Keitra Hill going once, going twice, and you're out of here.
You're out of here.
Lakeitra Thomas.
Lakeitra Thomas, are you here?
Lakeisha's on, because I think it's up to date now.
Okay, Lakeisha's gone too.
You know what? Crystal Napier. I love that. I love that.
Oh, yes.
you.
Congratulations, Crystal. Crystal is the winner. Very good. All right. And from Derek Lovett of Refresh Coaching, we have free access.
Should I get off at 4:30?
Jamal.
I get to Montgomery. I'm going straight. Go get me a hair.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Somebody.
And I'll take my wig off.
That's Aisha.
Aisha. Okay.
Aisha, talking to her, baby.
Aisha, you're so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so free access to the 30-day work-life balance reset course valued at $99 from Derek Lovett of Refresh Coaching. Who's our winner?
Is Brandy Singleton.
Brandy Singleton, are you here to claim your giveaway?
It's 17 people on this live, but the speaker's going to take everything. And I ain't mad at it. That's y'all additional compensation.
I mean, hey, a gift is a gift is a gift.
Right. Brandy Singleton. Brandy Singleton. That's Brandy Singleton. Brandy Singleton. Somebody say keep pulling. All right.
Keep going. She may be going to brunch.
Sierra Davenport.
Sierra Davenport.
John Brady. John Brady. I'm going to pull up both of them. Sierra was first, and then John.
Then John, okay.
We got 21 people on here, but nobody.
Oh my goodness.
Sierra Davenport, John Brady. Okay.
All right.
If you didn't register, you're not going to be on here. Ooh. I know Tara is not. Is Tara? Ooh, did you come back on? Ooh. I know this person on here. Jonathan Hall.
Jonathan Hall.
He need this, Derek. He need this one. I love this. And he'll support you too. He'll give you a coin. You coin. Okay.
All right. Very nice. Okay. So from Zach Hall of Musos.net, we have 1 free month and 3 one-hour coaching sessions. All right.
Okay, so the devil's trying to get you from your blessing. Julio Santa Ana.
Uh-oh. Julio, are you in the house?
Julio Santa Ana. I don't know if she's here. Angel, if you're here. Julio and Angel. That boy said, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior. Julio, Angel. And that's funny because she called me to tell. Tia said he did a good job. Angel. I told that girl to be on here. She don't even know she did won twice. Okay. We got to keep moving.
Gotta keep moving.
Brittany Abrams. She's a member of the chamber. She's
All
on
right,
here.
Brittany.
She's on here.
She's on there. All right. Very nice. Okay. So now we have a memoir and t-shirt from Jamal Nevels of Becoming Jamal. Don't tell me Jamal won his own gift.
It's going down the crack and I'm pulling the same thing. Okay. Is the Sharon Moncrief on here? To Sharon Moncrief?
To Sharon Moncrief. I love that name. To Sharon. Are you here?
I said that's why I said stay to the end because she was on here. I
Oh,
remember
Sharon.
she was she commented and everything. Anel Palacios. Anel Palacios.
Mm.
Anel Palacios.
Neil Palacios.
Brandy Rollins. Brandy Rollins. Is Nikki? Brandy's here. Brandy Rollins.
Congratulations, Randy.
What did she win?
A memoir and t-shirt from Jamal.
Oh,
Okay.
that's my classmate.
All
I
right.
will take it where you.
Congratulations, classmate. We have 3 free coaching sessions from Ariel Vaughn. It's time to be you.
Aisha Griffin. I'm about to cry. Aisha.
Aisha won. Oh my gosh. Congrats, Aisha.
Yay, me!
She called me. She said, "I'm gonna win some. Watch, I'm gonna win." And she got. If you don't know, Ariel. Woo, beast, baby, beast.
All right. Okay, so we have from Crystal Napier of Renee's Boutique, we have $49 off the first styling session in person or virtual. Promo code Style Me.
I pulled Derek. Derek, do you want this one? Your wife can use it. Or do you want to like
Christopher
kind of?
just laughing over there. Yeah, you know what? I want to give it to somebody, give somebody else an opportunity though.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah. Don't tell her I said that. She's not watching. All right.
That's why I say stay around to the end. Let me make sure nobody else was okay. Next prize.
That was a
Wait,
smart
can I
move.
take that back before you call out somebody's name? I'm sorry. Can I take that back? Before you call out a person's name, you didn't call out nobody, did you? Okay,
He is
never
funny.
mind. Let me
He is
stop.
funny.
That's for my wife.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
So Derek is taking the prize.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Ashley was back there like,
Right, his wife is like, what do you mean?
I know you lying.
All right. Okay, drum roll, drum roll. Free preliminary audit report valued at $100. And I'm sure she's going to give a little bit of an excerpt about this and the expectations. This is coming from Miss Jonah Hall of Hall Strategic Partners.
Okay. Let me go down and pull. Okay, I'm gonna do a blind pull because it's a couple people who I know not on here.
Okay.
Whoever I do, y'all see it.
Yes. Appreciate the transparency.
Carrington Epperson, are you on here? Carrington Epperson.
I love that, Carrington.
Okay. You registered through Eventbrite. Somebody was asking, how do you register? Oh, yes. Nina Thomas, but I know she's not here either. Nina Thomas. Is Nina on here though? If you're on here, let me know. Okay, I pulled two. I'm gonna go here first. That's the reason why the two people I pulled have already done it. So that's why I don't want to pull them out the drawing, but it'll be redundant. Victoria Thomas. Victoria Thomas, please be on here.
Please be on here.
So you have to stay to the end.
You gotta stay to the end.
Victoria Thomas. Oh, she not on here? Okay. Carissa Gaffey. Carissa Caffey. Oh, I see how she just come in. It'd be funny if she left. Carissa Caffey. Carissa Caffey. She just commented. Shanika Madison. Oh, Carissa is here. Okay.
She just commented.
Okay. She just commented. Carissa won the free audit.
Congratulations.
And what's the next prize? Is that the last one?
That concludes the giveaways. Congrats to all of the winners.
What I would do for Shanika, since I did pull her name, if you or anybody that you want to refer wants to be a part of the Idea Business Bootcamp, let us know and we'll knock some stuff out. If you are on here today, if you want to be a part of the Idea Business Bootcamp, contact aibusinesschamberus.com. Go to that website, AI Business Chamber. Somebody please type this in the YouTube, aibusinesschamberus.com. Fill out the contact form on the Idea Business Bootcamp. We will knock $100 off for members, all members, and $200 off for non-members. You will actually become a member. That's a part of the whole thing. We don't do outside members, but if you already are a member, we'll knock 100 off. If you are not, we'll knock 200, but you'll also become a member. Every speaker and panelist have the opportunity to also join the chamber. So yeah, we can go to the Q&A. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much.
All right. So I'm sure everyone has probably participated in the chat. Jonah, are you wanting to grab about 2 questions or 1?
I don't really see any questions.
No questions?
I
Okay.
really don't see any
Well,
questions.
kudos to the panelists and the speakers for doing such an amazing job with articulating the information that was shared. Okay, and then you've already mentioned the membership. So I will say an abundance of appreciation is extended to each of you for your participation, your engagement, your commitment to capability building today. And as you take everything you've heard back into your business, remember this: AI is a partner, not a replacement. It's the professional who manages the editorial layers that shape its output, and the leaders who thrive in this era will be the ones who more than likely build capability with intention, communicate with clarity, and execute with discipline. Thank you for attending the 2026 AIBC Executive Summit. And I believe, unless I'm wrong, that this concludes the AIBC Executive Business Summit of 2026. Have a blessed business on purpose.